Good evening, Mike. How we doing tonight?
Good. Back to gunsinthe701.com, and here we are once again. And
Well, it was
and
a
uh,
good
I
2 week
excited.
vacation.
2 week vacation. Yeah, I wish it was vacation. I'm celebrating our 51st state.
Oh, Canada.
Canada, how we like your maple syrup.
At least their flag is red. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, we got it. There is that. But yeah, and then, it sounds like we might pick up a new territory. This is not the first time Greenland has been talked about on
No,
this.
no, it's not.
So
Panama, I totally agree on.
I do too. We should never give it away. Another thing that Carter did that sucked. But I guess one good thing for Carter, I mean, he is, he's dead now. But other than that, the guy is not the worst president anymore.
Oh, I saw that. I saw that Biden came in at number 2.
Yeah, he should be number one as worst president. But yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, good evening, Trampus. Josh, good to have you. Jamie's listening in there on 701 Nation. Speaking of, Jamie's going to join us a little bit later this evening. Got a lot of things to talk about. There's plenty going on, but we're going to talk about the Brain Bucket Challenge and what's happening with that. Not looking good weather-wise on Saturday, but I'll let Jamie when Jamie logs in here later, we'll definitely talk about that. I don't know if an axe ended up coming up with a new date. I can tell you this: I stopped in. Seen one of our sponsors down there at LAUER Auto Repair, had the oil changed on our Tahoe, and I'm telling you, guys, I know we say this all the time, but I'm not kidding. That is some great service down there. And if you want to get some great service, get it done right, and it goes above and beyond, you need to stop in at LAUER Auto Repair when you're in Bismarck. And granted, maybe I had a little bit of pull there. I didn't have an appointment, but he said he could squeeze me in there. And yeah, it worked out good while we were on Dakota Mornings with Michael Bell. So it was a good day overall. Got to see everybody. And yeah, great. Hey, Dan, he's from the western edge over in Dickinson, is just over in that area. Had to pick up a hydraulic cylinder. So pretty much was passing through and came up from Bowman, went up there, grabbed my cylinder, and then headed back home and had some things to get done here. So
right. Well, we had our break. We took our little our break over the Christmas break and everything else, and we had some good numbers with the badass show that we ran. We ran like most of them.
Yeah, I was just looking at the Rumble stuff. The badasses. We did the loop on them, and I thought that turned out really nice. And people watched it. It has now been viewed. I don't know the days because it doesn't break it down on Rumble, but between the two of them on the badass was between 300 and 400. And on the Christmas Eve, where we just ran the loop for I don't know all night, pretty much.
Mm-hmm.
That one is. It looks like to me that's over 600.
Yeah,
and that's just on Rumble. So I know a couple people I talked to said we just turned it on, listened to the music, and let the fire crackle. So hey, appreciate that. That was great. Hey, you won the shot, Brian Warner. Good to have you on. He's over there on Twitter. I can see tonight.
There you go.
By the way, I'm going to work on it. Rumble has now, however they did it with Restream, they're going to be able to integrate the chats. I haven't had the chance to look at how to do that. I set it up a little bit there in Restream, but it's still not working properly. But also get that'll be kind of nice. Then we can have those chats. They're going to pop right in here just like they do right now. So
merge everything. That'd be good.
By doing that, to me, that's going to help make CommieTube just give them a big old middle finger. We got X, that's good. If we can get Rumble, which to me, they're getting better every single year. I mean, I've been with Rumble a while now, and they're getting there. They really are. But, it took YouTube, CommieTube, a few of them to, Fascist-book was no different. They had to build on that.
That's right.
And numbers are coming up here. So I can tell you right now, between Rumble and what I'm seeing in the counter right now, that we're pushing 30 right now. So thanks for tuning in, everybody. Sure appreciate that. All right, let's get this baby started, though, like we always do, with a Second Amendment. You want to read it?
I got it. A well-regulated militia being necessary to the security of a free state, the right of the people to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed.
Absolutely, absolutely. This came up a little bit on Michael's show. I don't know if he's listening tonight. And we actually, when people ask us about Dakota Mornings, love Michael. He's been great. He's given me and Jamie a great opportunity there on KFYR, along with Todd, with Mitch on the mornings. I mean, we're on twice a week, that first week of the month. But we had a little bit of a, I guess, not a disagreement, but he says, no right is absolute. I disagree. They're all absolute. The only way they can be changed is constitutionally. Mm-hmm. So I guess in the true sense, are they absolute? No, they can be changed. But the Supreme Court is not the end all be all. And this is where I differ with a lot of people because I know I'm right on this. I've read enough historical references to our founders. The U.S. Supreme Court is never to interpretate the Constitution. They're to interpretate law according to the words of the Constitution, and they're not to add wording. And that is the fundamental way it was set up for your checks and balances. The Constitution is absolute. It's not malleable. It can be changed with 2/3 majority votes. Think about this, Mike. The first 10 amendments were passed along with the complete Constitution. It's only been amended another 17 times in just shy of 250 years.
Right.
Not real easy to change, is it?
No.
And one of the
go ahead.
Go ahead.
I forget what David was saying there.
Well, what I was going to say is, when you look at this, we had the Halstead Act, which was prohibition, right?
Right.
That passed. We had, no alcohol was going to be produced or sold in the country. Yeah, right. Just created a whole nother black market. And then it was finally repealed. So out of them 17, one of them doesn't. Two of them.
One of them didn't exist, and the other one repealed it. Yeah.
Exactly. So they've offset each other. So there's only 15 other ones that are really in play in addition to the first 10. And the last one was passed in 1993 or 92. I can't remember. I think it was 92, but I'd have to actually look it up again. It's 27th Amendment, which does not allow one Congress leaving. So the one that just left could not give itself a pay raise to the next one coming in.
Right.
And so, I mean, it is not an easy document to change. It is pretty absolute. But the Second Amendment, think about this. It says, shall not be infringed. That's pretty clear, isn't it?
Right.
So to me, the Second Amendment is absolute. They can argue about whether the First Amendment covers this, that, or the next thing. They always go to freedom of speech. Well, freedom of speech is just one of the 5 rights guaranteed to you within the First Amendment. But it is very tough and very hard to me, and we've seen that in a lot of recent cases now. The Second Amendment's pretty absolute, isn't it?
Well, and it's one of the things that I constantly say on my radio show is when I'm reading news and whatnot, and whenever there's a gun case that comes up, I'm always saying, well, that's fine, but Bruin has already said that that's not going to be the case. So they can they can try to sue, which is what they're right to do, to try to sue, to try to get air their grievances and change the law how they feel. But you know what? It just doesn't do, because precedent is on the side of us.
It absolutely is. It absolutely is. And we're going to get into that here just with this North Dakota case that happened here in December. So, but I got to put up David's deal. So Mike is showing his commie beliefs wearing his Canada stuff. Oh, that's funny right there. He's going to give you a full look at there.
Wayne Gretzky.
Now that's a hockey player, right?
Yeah, it's a hockey player. Yeah, I had to we had a Pink the Rink night at the local Pink the Rink. Get it? So it was a local cancer thing for a hockey team here in town. So I had to do the announcing last week. So I knew I had to do it. So I ordered a jersey to be out there, and I figured if I'm going to order one, I'm going to order one that I like, and I like the Canadian team, so I like hockey a little bit. It's fun. Any sport that actually has fighting built into it, I mean, that's a great sport.
So I'm not a big sports fan, as you know. I don't follow much of it, but I did like attending when I was working out in the Twin Cities area. It was the North Stars. So that tells you how long ago. I did love going to hockey games, and I don't know. To me, it seems like there was a lot more cool fighting going on then than there is now. This doesn't seem like it's the same.
Well, they tampered it down somewhat, and
that was the whole point.
Actually, I would look at it a lot like the PRCA, where they have got the rules and whatnot for the kids. And if you do this and you do that, then you're out for this many games. And you've got all this. They've actually got a board here in South Dakota. Every state's got their own board where you have to go in front of them and plead your case, and so.
I know that wrestling, I was a big wrestler, and that might shock some people. But yeah, I was a diehard wrestler. I had a pretty good record, too, until my knee blew out. But half the moves I think I used then, I don't think I can even use any. I know figure 4 in the head, not allowed anymore. Scissor in the body, not allowed. All the cool stuff. And you got to be careful about slamming them. And, of course, it's different than freestyle, which I did later.
Now, the fun thing is that every one of those moves that you can't use in wrestling now, you can use over on OnlyFans.
Oh.
So,
right, you know what that deserves? There you go. There you go.
Thank you very much. I'm here all week.
There, that's appropriate there for OnlyFans. Anyway, so I can let's get into this Fargo thing. So as we were talking about Bruin has finally come, and it does set the precedent nationwide. And as these cases are making their way through the courts, one of two things has happened. They got such leftist judges they don't care, and they rule against the Second Amendment, and then it goes on to the appeals process.
Right.
The problem with that is that's expensive. So I'm glad to see, NRILA takes up the cases. My goodness, you're starting to see Gun Owners of America get involved in these cases. The what is it, Committee for Right to Keep and Bear Arms or something like that. I can't remember. And Second Amendment Foundation. My goodness, I tip my hat to them guys, because they have been fundamentally taking most of these court cases as far as they can. So, and that's what they do. I mean, that's their focus. NRAILA focuses on legislation, and NRA as a whole focuses on the entire shooting world.
Right.
And if you got the Second Amendment Foundation doing court cases, the Citizens for the Right to Keep and Bear Arms are out there. Gun Owners America, all of them are starting, I think, to finally work together. And
which they need to. If we falter on any of us, we're going to have a weak point, and we're going to lose some rights there.
Absolutely.
And they're not going to give it back to us.
No, they're not. And I can tell you right now, all these groups together still don't have the war chest that the other side has. And
right.
We're going to talk about that. I want to bring up this COSTCO thing, because one of them board members is a commie sumbitch too, and he's a self-proclaimed Marxist. Plus, he loves anti-gun stuff. March for whatever, I forget, it was March for Your Lives or one of them things. One of the anti-gun, gun control groups.
Yeah.
But anyway,
every town and all that crap. Yeah.
So what I love about this North Dakota Supreme Court ruling is we have a little liberal spot, a big one, not really a little one. It's a big one. And Grand Forks, you could say, is in there. But let's focus on Fargo. The armpit of North Dakota. And sorry if you guys have got to live there. I realize that some people have to. It's just like we actually have true patriots in California. I'm telling you, I've met them, worked with them in the NRA.
Mm-hmm.
It's just they've got the same problem. Just their cities are bigger. It's always the cities. You get into Northern California, I'm telling you, that state's conservative.
I don't even know what a deep rich blue is called, but yeah, that's a dark blue.
But yeah, you get into LA and San Francisco.
Or dark red, excuse me, dark red.
They're blue, and you get up north, it's very, very red. I mean, it bleeds and breathes, and it's red. But anyway, Fargo is very leftist, although we've made some inroads here in the legislature. Jared Hendricks comes to mind. He had defeated what I would call a leftist Republican.
Right.
There. So, congratulations to Jared as he's starting to take his seat and be part of the state legislature. But Fargo decided in their infinite wisdom, and they said it was their right, which is laughable, that they could go ahead and pass an ordinance that bans the sale of ammunition and firearms from areas zoned as residential. Okay, so that brings up a lot of things, right? Why are firearms singled out? A lot of people have home businesses.
Mm-hmm.
I think that the decision the North Dakota Supreme Court made a big one, because it's going to be the precedent now in every single city. And if you think that Bismarck and Mandan are exempt, they are not. They're doing the same thing. So if you guys want, I know David's listening. He can tell you some stories, because he operates an FFL business, a firearms business, out of on his residential property, essentially. So look at that. Look at there. We just got what do they call that? Spam. Oh, well,
Young Jamie. Yeah, thank you so much.
Take it for a couple minutes here, a few seconds. I'm going to go after this guy, and I'm going to nix him. Okay.
There we go. Well, here's the deal: is that we've got a situation where as they go after these small the cities, and they try to go for those liberal judges that are in those cities, and they get these things passed. Well, and then they want to say the rest of the state feels the same way. Well, it's not. And you know what? And that's just the thing. And so you've got to be aware of what's happening in the cities. You can't just play it off of, well, I'm out here and I'm fine, because you know what? They're going to put laws in place throughout the state that is going to affect you. And if they get a foothold with these type of laws and they don't get taken down, they're going to expand, and they're going to expand out, and you're going to have the municipalities all over the place trying this crap when you get the liberals that are on there, and you got to make sure that you're aware about it at all times. So, hey, dog, I love your energy that you're putting into your streaming. Just love to say that.
Well, I think I got him, but I suppose you're going to see the message for a while.
I just think I wanted to read that part. Hey, dog.
Hey, dog. I'm a doggy now.
Yeah, there you go. I didn't punch no doggies. Anyway.
No, I didn't. Anyway, so David, I think, mentioned there. Go ahead and if you see that, give it a read.
Oh, the city of Mandam zoning officials are doing this. So there you go. He's got that in there as well. So yeah, it's just I'm trying to find my chats here real quick and see where we are here real quick. And yeah, there we go. So yeah, so David's right. So it's the Mandam's zoning officials are going to try doing the same thing. We talked about this, didn't we, when they were talking about your car is your domicile? Wasn't that the thing we talked about a while back?
Something on there, yeah.
So you wouldn't be allowed to have your pistol or rifle in your car without permission, and so it's just ridiculous. They're going to try everything in the book and throw it out, and we've got to make sure that we're aware of it all the way around. So even in the small places,
absolutely, and it's another way. This is just a great reminder, everybody. The left never quits. Remember that. We win battles. They fight wars. And that's always been our problem. I think we made a lot of headway here, finally. But I'm telling you, the war is not over by any means. It just is not. Just keep that in mind.
Well, I wait to see what's going to happen with different organizations, the FBI and all these others, when the new administration gets in, and we wait to see what happens with their direction. And maybe they don't waste so much time on the bull, and they'll finally start actually doing their jobs instead of missing more than they catch.
Yes. All right. I think I got him now. Sorry,
there you go.
I didn't want to ignore everybody, but I think I
just say bye, dog.
Bye.
Bye, dog.
No longer. All right. So, like David was talking about, he goes, right here, he says, without the ordinance, and quote Fargo's ordinance. Yeah. So their ordinance essentially, and their attorney, which was Peter Zugger here, it looks like, this guy was trying to say that it was a threat to safety and a threat to the health of the residents. And of course, it's always for the children. Oh, it's always for the
my goodness, help me. What about the children? Think about the children.
Yeah, I mean, if we don't just do something, then we have failed. And that's what they do. They try every single time to appeal to an emotional side rather than actual constitutional rule law. And with Bruin in place, I mean, think about this, Mike. If North Dakota Supreme Court would have upheld this rather than, or wouldn't have upheld the lower court's decision, and when they've accepted this and overturned it, then this could have went into the federal system. I mean, that's your next, you start that process, which is long and drawn out and expensive. But if it would have made it to the Supreme Court of the United States, guess what they probably would have done? They would have said there's no constitutional history on this. There's no history of restriction, and there isn't. I mean, you can argue that maybe in the Old West, I mean, there are several towns that you couldn't carry in town, but that has to do with carrying. That had nothing to do with the sale. And even those, were they even constitutional? Who knows? I mean, there wasn't a lot of communications. I'm sure there's a lot of things that happened.
When a letter took 6 weeks to make it to you, communication was exactly a little failing.
Hey, Corey, he says Cali is going really red with those fires right now. Yeah, no kidding. Oh. Maybe they're getting what they've been asking for. They kicked God out of it.
Those $50 million homes are all burning up. I feel bad for the people. Here's the bad side on that is that you've got these big giant mansions are burning. That's what the MSNBC and all that are talking about, and they're so sad about that. But what's going to happen is all the guys and girls that have that have been entrenched in there that have owned houses for 50, 60 years before all the prices went up, before everybody started building these mansions. Now they're going to get their homes all burned out, and then the insurance probably won't cover them, or at least not up to what they're worth. And they'll end up getting their land bought out, and of course then forced out. And they'll be like San Francisco, where 700 square foot apartment costs you $3,000 a month to rent. So yeah, it's gonna be ridiculous.
And we saw this in Hawaii with the fires. Know a couple people over there too. Imagine that. But a lot of that land that burned, now there's people coming in there and wanting to buy it up for pennies on the dollar because it was pretty valuable real estate. What happened with the fires is a whole nother rabbit hole we're not going to go in here. But was it intentional? Was it not intentional? I don't know. But there's a lot of rich land source there. And now you've got big developers and people with deep pockets coming in wanting to buy it up. So,
yeah,
I can see the same thing happening here in California where these fires are going through. So, it's a bad thing. And prayers definitely go out to all these people that are being affected that have no say in this. You know what I'm saying? They didn't ask for this. And as far as them running out of water, they created that problem themselves.
Yeah.
And when you vote for stupid people, you get stupid consequences. And I'm not saying that that's what started the fire, but being able to fight it, right. I mean, let's face it, the Los Angeles fire department's more worried. They got a dyke on there that's their fire chief, and she's more worried about the diversity, equity, and inclusion than she is about actually doing firefighting. And that's just
here's one of the things that ticked me off today. I understand when you have press conferences, you need press conferences to tell the people what's going on. I think it was CNN today, because I've got my radio station flipping around left and right. And so CNN had today one of the counties there, and they had 30 people up on stage, all these police chiefs and all these. And I'm like going, look, you only need one or two people to talk, the emergency management guy, the city representative, or maybe the mayor, and maybe a couple other people. You know what? There's $200,000 salaries sitting up there of people that aren't out there in the field right now, that could be in a command center, that could be taking care of things, but instead they're all up there getting their little bit of fame and all that, and getting a paycheck while they stay safe, while the firefighters and everybody else are out there in the thick of it.
Oh, so absolutely.
Ticks me off every time.
I can say that around here, and as a volunteer fire department member for several years, I don't do as much fighting as I used to, but I'm telling you, we never sat around. We were out there doing the job, and even the people who were, our chiefs or the people in control or at the top, they were out there too. They weren't there. In fact, nobody wanted to talk to any cameras or talk to any news. We wanted to get stuff done, and I think that's the difference between out here versus in those bigger urban areas. I don't know. But
well, everybody's looking for their next job that they're going to fail up to.
It's about right.
Because we say that all the time, failing up.
Before we go to our first break, I do want to wrap a little on this here. So our legislature in 2023, and I remember when this went through because I was sitting in that committee meeting, it was House Bill 1340, and it prohibits cities, counties, and other political subdivisions from passing an ordinance relating to buying and selling guns and ammunition. And that's what this came from. And I remember listening to some of the testimony. I mean, the people that are on the other side of this, they are delusional. They don't speak on facts. They speak in rhetoric, and they speak on emotions. They try to appeal to the emotional side of things, and it just has no bearing. And I was glad to see that the attorney for the city, who said that it supersedes state law, says that the North Dakota Constitution says local law supersedes state law, and it does not. Hey, Boone County Hydrographics, thanks for tuning in. That's a new one for us.
That's a new one.
Basically, Fargo's arguing that they can do what they want. They can overrule that because they have home rule law. And I love the fact that as the attorney for the Attorney General's office, she argued, no, the legislature gives you the rights that you have. And in North Dakota, that is how it's structured. I can't speak for South Dakota, but essentially the legislature does kind of dictate to the cities and what they can and cannot do. It kind of goes to South Dakota's old preemption law, where they did the same thing. Remember this, Mike, when I got into it with the Sioux Falls outfit out down there on their parks and their public land, and we won that. They can't make a law at all ordinance, counties, subdivisions, cities, that's more stringent than that in the state constitution of the state of South Dakota. Well, we have the same thing. And I mean, I got into a hell of a fight with the Sioux Falls people. We won that. And, you know, yes, I worked for the NRA then, and I basically just said, I will bring in the NRA's lawyers on this, because we were doing all kinds of that stuff back then. We are going after cities and schools. Remember that? And we were winning those cases. And the schools thing had to do with wearing shirts like this.
They wanted to stop you. Yeah. But you can wear a band's T-shirt that's got something graphic and disgusting on it, but that's fine.
That was fine, and it was insane. So I mean, we had this fight in McIntosh, 19 miles to the west or to the east of me. Had this fight with that guy, and the superintendent there was from out of the area, way out of the area. Finally left. It was Vance's kid, actually, and I went to bat for him and had quite a discussion with him. As Trump said, we made a deal. You know, we had the art of the deal going on, and I explained to him how it would end, and that was the end of that. Their no tolerance provision in their handbook did not apply to this. And I mean, it was an NRA Day shirt. Didn't even have a gun on it, but it said the words NRA. I mean,
so we're outlawing letters now. So there you go.
Well, it was a freedom of speech issue for one.
Yeah, for one.
But let's just put it this way. That little, yes, did I go in there and lay the law down? You're absolutely right. I freaking did. I told them, we will sue you. And we had way more money. I just said, we got more money than you. I said, we got a fifth floor in that building. It's full of lawyers. Nothing but lawyers. That wasn't a bluff. That was the truth. And I'm probably the only rep that ever did that in the state of South Dakota, North Dakota. But I used those resources to just take care of it before it even became an issue.
Right, which is what you're supposed to do.
And we squashed it. And the only other issues I had, which, one of them was down there in Rapid City on open carry, which we might get to here a little bit later. But I'm telling you right now, Fargo learned a valuable lesson, because I love what Justice Lisa Fair, she questioned all this and asked, what makes selling guns a purely local issue? And they couldn't answer it. Basically, the Fargo guy was just saying, well, they're selling guns in their homes and it doesn't affect anybody outside the city. Well, not true. It actually does. And then Lisa Fair McEvans, she says, question why the city wants to ban the sale of guns in homes. The city come back to this protecting the health and the welfare of citizens. Mandates sales. What was it here? Fargo's position is the health and welfare of its citizen mandates the sale of firearms in only select locations. No, it don't. And that goes against Bruin right off the bat. Just because you live in a certain area doesn't mean you can't. If you possess a federal firearms license in FFL, you have to abide by the same rules, regulations, and laws that any FFL dealer does in the United States. So it's not like it's a different standard.
Look, you got to understand, we're getting it from many different ways when it comes to the left. The left has this rhetoric that they put out about how bad people with FFL and how bad these guns. And whenever you see the left also do a TV show, like these stupid shows out of Chicago, cop shows and all these other things, it's always a scumbag FFL dealer somewhere sliding something underneath the table or doing this and I'm like, well, dude, you do realize how hard it is? They make it hard for you as it is, but you got to file the paperwork and this and that, and everything's checked up on you. You got to have everything dotted and crossed. And I'm like, to make a few $100 extra here and there on bullshit like that, or bull crap like that, it's just it's a bad image that has been perpetuated constantly with the media. Absolutely. And it's one of the reasons why I don't like cop shows. I don't
watch a lot of shows either. For one, it actually gives the good police officers a bad name.
Although I did go back and watch Longmire for you. I did watch that.
I started watching it again. I've seen the whole series, but that is entertaining. I do like the show. But getting back, I can tell you right now, those shows you're talking about, you're right. They paint gun owners in a bad way. They paint dealers in a bad way, and they paint the police officers in a bad way a lot of times that they didn't earn. You know what I mean? Yes, there's some bad officers out there. Yes, there's probably some bad dealers out there. There's bad people in every facet of our
But
society.
What do they show on those shows? They show the only way for a police officer to catch the criminal is to bend the laws and do it wrong. And that's what they do. Well, the system ties my hands, so I've got to break the rules in order to bust this guy.
And Dan's listening in. Dan doesn't do that kind of stuff. Dan was a great officer, and they don't portray them people. They don't even mention them people, and that's really you're right. I don't watch them shows either because what? I can be entertained in other ways.
I'll give you the Fargo episode, the season that had the officer near Fargo, the sheriff, and he was a sovereign citizen and all this other stuff, and I was just like, just painting the whole picture with a big, wide, ugly brush, and I was just like, oh, geez, come on.
They always do. So McEvers, the justice that's on the North Dakota Supreme Court, she also expressed doubt about the claim. She says, how does selling a firearm out of a house trigger those reasons? And what about selling out of a house triggers someone's health and welfare being of those things? And it don't. You know what? I thought it was great to see the questioning. In the end, I thought the right decision was made. The law was upheld. The city of Fargo lost their appeal, and the lower court decision was upheld. So that brings us back now to towns like Mandan, Bismarck, Dickinson. Name any city, any town, any township, any entity now in the state of North Dakota cannot infringe on your Second Amendment right to purchase a firearm legally from an FFL now. And that's what that did. So I hope that some of these problems, and David and I have talked about some of these in Mandan, we now need, it's just like anything else. You have to have standing in court, right? You can't get it overturned until somebody challenges it. That's what sucks about all this. So now I'd love to see a case come up because
this is standing
right now. If they try to shut down an FFL dealer in Bismarck, in a residential area, in Mandan, in a residential area, it now has a standing in the court where if they go, they should be able to win this. It might cost them some money, and I would say that if that happens, you need to get in touch with the right entities to help fund that case because we need to start setting these precedences and send the message loud and clear. That's what the left does to us. We need to do it to them. And it just, I was very happy about the decision.
I don't know how many. I mean, you can't even name all the FFL dealers we've met in our lifetime that have dealt out of their homes, because one, brick and mortar is tough to do. I mean, especially in the last 20 years, it's almost been impossible but we've got a few businesses that, that sponsor us, but, it's impossible really to do brick and mortar. So you end up having to do out of your home in order to get your foot in the door. And you've got to make the money first before you can build the shop, and that's just the way it is. And that's probably how most of our guys started.
It's expensive to have a storefront.
Right.
I mean, it just is. Storefronts are in a different zone generally, in a business district, which you get taxed again. Here we go with taxes, taxed at a higher rate generally. You have to have enough sales and markup in your sales to actual and volume of customers coming through to pay the electric bill, pay the insurance, pay. Trust me, you got a gun business, insurance is not cheap. Ask any of them. And pay your employees wages, and if you're offering benefits, you got to have security systems. That's mandated by having an FFL. They come in and make sure that you're secure. Something that regular businesses don't have to have. I would suggest it in some areas, but you have to do that if you have an FFL. You have to maintain, probably payment on your building. There's just a lot of overhead, and then the inventory itself. I'm telling you, you can't just have a storefront with a few guns in there and people come in, well, I can order it. Well, you can order it from anybody, right?
Right.
So you're going to have some inventory on hand. And that's why I go to the little guys. And then we've got our big guys. I go to Mandan Sporting Goods because, hey, he's got a great shop. He just moved into a new one. He gave me a tour, me and Jamie both. And man, I'll tell you what, that's a nice shop that they got in Mandan there. And I really encourage you to go there.
I like here in South Dakota, we got little Angry Man Arms.
Yep, just ordered a gun. Should be in. Probably came in today, but probably not going to get it over there till next week to get it. And I'm going to pick that rifle up. So I really encourage you to go to the small guys because they're a whole lot more fun to deal with. You get to know them, and you're not putting up with the crap that you see at the big box stores. That's just the way it is. They do a whole bunch of stuff that a lot of times goes beyond even what they're required to do. And I don't blame them because they got a lot of people working there, a lot of traffic, and they don't want any mistakes. But I don't want to go through all that crap. So anyway, hats off to the North Dakota Supreme Court. They set a precedent that I think you're going to be able to use, not just in North Dakota, everywhere. When these cases start going, they go, well, look, here's a case right here. North Dakota Supreme Court said you can't do this because it infringes on your constitutional rights. So it's great to see. It's another win for property rights. It's another win for gun owners and the Second Amendment, in my opinion.
All right. Well, we're going to go ahead and take a break here real quick and come on back.
I'm going to grab, I think I got the right one right here. Yeah. I'm just go ahead and grab this one. We're going to thank some sponsors, pay some bills, and we'll be right back. And I don't know, Mike, which one you want to go to next?
No, we'll figure that out when we're going, because I think the Costco one and the Walmart are the ones that I want to talk about.
Sounds good. All right. See you on the other side.
LAUER Auto Repair, located at 309 South Washington Street in Bismarck, North Dakota. Give them a call at 701-258-6308. The team of mechanics at LAUER Auto can take care of any problem your vehicle is having. And when you do business with LAUER, you can be assured you're doing business with a pro Second Amendment America First repair shop. There are plenty of other auto repair shops in the Bismarck-Mandan area. But why take a chance at patronizing a shop that might not have your beliefs at heart? Make no mistake. LAUER Auto is your pro Second Amendment repair shop. When you talk to the guys at LAUER Auto, don't forget to tell them that you heard they are a sponsor of Guns and the 701 and that you appreciate their support of our pro Second Amendment, pro North Dakota live stream and podcast. That's LAUER Auto Repair, 701-258-6308. 701-258-6308. Located 309 South Washington Street in Bismarck, North Dakota.
Experience the exhilaration of power in your hands at Bloodline Kinetics. Why Cerakote? Simply, it aids in firearm preservation while also giving your piece a unique look. Barrel threading, NFA laser engraving, bolt handle threading, mount, level, and bore, sight scope chamber rebarreling, and much more. Bloodline Kinetics is meant to reflect a long American lineage in gun ownership, who stand for the Second Amendment rights, Bloodline, and the science behind gun accuracy. Kinetics. To some, it's just a constitutional right that can go away. To us, it's in our American bloodline, and we believe it should stay that way. Here at Bloodline Kinetics, we understand that hunters, sportsmen, women, and gun owners should have a quality firearm. Stop and see us at 2008 Morrison Avenue 2 in Bismarck, North Dakota, 58504, Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Call 701-390-7997. Visit our website, bloodlinekinetics.com.
Anvil Brand LLC, raising and training tomorrow's barrel horses right out of Bismarck, North Dakota. Tracy and her family are great American patriots who not only support the Second Amendment, but they also promoted what you're looking for, top quality barrel horses. Go ahead and give Tracy a call at 701-471-6629 and tell them Guns and 701.com sent you. That's Anvil Brand LLC out of Bismarck, North Dakota.
Like Michael, the flow like Aubrey. Walk around thinking I'm a prince like Saudi. Mismatched Converse, t-shirts tucked in. Know my worth, can't tell me nothing. White Nikes, albino, pink.
And we are back again, thanks to our great sponsors. We can't do it without you. And yeah, I know that LAUER Auto's on course for the first quarter, because when I stopped in, Axe was proud to go ahead and re-up with us. So
awesome.
Been there since the beginning. So don't forget 309 South Washington Street, and you can call them at 701-258-6308 for all.
That's one of the things we have going back on what we were talking about earlier is we have a couple legislative get-togethers coming up here soon in Mitchell, and that's something I need to ask too. Is any municipalities trying to do this exact same thing? Because trying to pass something like that, because if it's happening up there, it's happening down here.
Yeah, and I've been out of the loop in South Dakota now since I retired, so I haven't been keeping up with a lot of the cities. I used to get, hey, Jamie's tuning in here, but I haven't had a chance to actually get out and look and see if Sioux Falls, Watertown, Aberdeen, them places doing anything. I can't tell you, Mike. I really can't.
Hi, Jamie.
Hey, what's up, guys?
Oh, just having some fun here, talking about commies and shit like that.
Well, there's plenty of those around, isn't there?
Especially in Fargo. So
Yeah, that's what I heard. That's what I heard. I'm gonna turn my mic down here a little bit because whenever I come on here with this headset's louder than anything on, so I'm gonna turn myself down to 80 here.
I did just hop on X though and shared everything into the Vetted Patriots chat room. Maybe that'll take off.
Oh, you figured that out now?
Well, I don't know if I did, but I tried.
Well, they say you're supposed to share them to these groups on Facebook, but hey, what's up, Josh? How's it going, buddy?
So I'll tell you what we need to do though while you're on. Then give us an update. What is going on with the Brain Bucket Challenge, everybody?
Yeah, so if anybody remembers, I said about the only thing that would stop this from going, other than like a gale force wind or snow, and it turns out I just checked again. They're still saying 2 inches of snow are supposed to fall anytime between 6 and noon there, and wind sustained to 14, gust to 23. And I know I've seen a lot of comments, and I posted that on our social media. Wow, come on, man, we can hunt and shoot. That's the way it is in North Dakota. And yeah, I agree with you. We can do it, guys. But I tell you what, if you ever tried to look through your spotting scope or run a video camera when it snows out, it's a no-go. And one of the reasons we do this is not just to have fun, to promote what we're doing and our sponsors. And when you put out a shit video where you can't see nothing, and if you hit the target and you can't see it or hear it blow up or get a reaction, well, could we do it? Yeah. I'm not going to do that just because, hey, it's not like we're producing top quality John Armin.
No, you do. You produce the top quality stuff.
We got good videos. You guys do a great job, but we don't have those, $3,000 cameras.
Yeah, that could probably get through the snow and get to what we want to see. But yeah, I mean, I've tried my spotting scope hunting many times if it's foggy or snowing. It's worthless. So
have you ever thought about having your daughter just hold an umbrella above your head while you're shooting?
Well, it's downrange is where it does it, Mike. That's what screws it up. So otherwise, yeah. Yeah, my daughters just do that anyways, right? Because I'm down. What the hell?
There you go.
But yeah, that's the main reason we're doing it. We will reschedule it. I'm sorry that we had to do it, but I just don't want to do something subpar. We already kind of, we're on a tight budget the way it is, and I'm not going to put something out there that sucks. Because if you try and watch something that's pixelated or you can't see it, or if you listen to a podcast or a live stream or radio show and it's breaking up and sounds like shit, it doesn't keep people watching or listening. So I'm just not going to do it. We'll reschedule it, and we'll get it done that way. So I'm going to apologize to anybody who is coming up, and I appreciate you guys. Hopefully you can make it next time. As of right now, I don't know when we're going to do it. Hopefully sometime in February, but we'll see what happens. So that's up with that. It's not going down. So, hey, we'll get it done next time. It's going to be fun either way.
As long as I know that if you do it February 1st, I won't be here. Or no, actually February 1st. Oh, February 8th, I won't be. Maybe the 15th too. I don't know.
So I had a few people tell me to do it on the 1st. So maybe we will.
Have to look. Eric might be off too. If he had off this weekend, that means he'd be on next. So yeah, it might work out okay too.
So another thing I'm going to do, Clay, is when we do it, I'm gonna actually ask people to confirm they're going to be there.
Yeah.
Right, because I mean we did have. I mean, I'm sure we'd had 8-10 people show up, but I mean I need to get an accurate head count of how many people are going to be there. Right, and I know the message is out and people see it like, yeah, I'm going to show up, and then, well, we don't know that they're gonna. So it's just nice to have things planned out. I mean, it's not a necessity, but I'd rather know all the details of what we're going to do. So
I like what David says. He said it's all good, JD. It's about fun and making content. Absolutely. If you can make content, the guys that had excuses this week will have to make new ones.
There you go. That's good. That's a good one.
That'll hit it.
That is true, Dave. That is true, Dave. That is true.
Oh, man, I got to come up with a whole new excuse.
Now I don't feel bad because I was going to miss it on Saturday, most likely, the way it was looking. So
yeah, well, that's the real reason we canceled it, Clay.
What's that?
That was the real reason we canceled it.
Yeah, I'm sure.
I hope we can do it. I hope you can make it next time, man. We got more guys representing GAT 701 there. Hopefully, D can make it up there too. That'd be awesome.
Yeah, I would like to.
I was thinking about that whole thing, and I can't decide whether I want to bring my 270, my old true trusty 270, or I have a 7mm08 I really enjoy shooting. And problem is, if Leighton comes, I'm pretty sure I'm not going to get to use that. I guess there's nothing stopping me from using it.
Well, Axe shot the wood target there with the Firebird on the try. I tried it with the 223, and it went right through, blew up, gave us a nice thing. And he shot it with the 270, the same. Didn't even vaporize the head apart on the wood silhouette. So I mean, we're good to go with that. He cut out a bunch of other targets just in case, but
I can tell you this: if I'm able to make it, which I'm hoping I can now, I'm 90+% sure I'm bringing a bolt action. That's just my thing. That's what I hunt with. Not nothing against my semi-autos and my ARs, but that's why I wouldn't be doing that. That's what I use.
Yeah. Yep. I didn't really decide. Yeah, I can tell you it's going to be a 223, but when I get my Creed back and we do the deer challenge this year again, I can't say this year because we're in 2025. So I mean, before you know it, right, where September's going to be here. I'm going to have the 6.5 Creed, so I'm not going to have to worry about compensating for the massive drop of that slow ass Grendel. And looking forward to that.
David says, like I said last challenge, embrace the suck.
Yeah, we did. All of us did, other than Jake on that one. So it's fun. They're fun to do. I enjoy doing it.
Yeah.
We had. I'm not exaggerating. Literally thousands of people watch these things. So
So hey, if Dan's still listening, hopefully maybe Dan can come over from Dickinson. He's been to a few of our things too. So
yeah.
Speaking of these challenges, which we're getting off. That's fine. We can get off subject here. I think, I know we were going to do a 2A day again, I'm sure, up at Axe's, but that went so good down there at Whalen's, and Whalen's all for it. So I'm pretty sure we're going to try to do 2 of them. We'll do one down he's got a range on his place outside of Bullhead, South Dakota. A lot of fun to go there. We've got a mile target, and David hit it, guys.
David, I'm down with going down there. I just couldn't get it done last time you guys did it, but.
So, I don't think it's bad to have a couple of them days. I think it's a lot of fun. And we had a lot of fun. Time. Blew up a lot of ammo, had a lot of fun. Tried, I don't know how many different guns. Chris Brownell, he comes out from American Steel Supply out in Brainerd, Minnesota. So I'm working with him too. I got to call him back again, but I think we're going to try to offer some targets if anybody wants them. He makes them out of AR 500 steel, and they're good. That's what the presidential target is. That came from him. So we all know that you can get that one already. And most of them you can. So, but we've got everything out there from 1,760 yards, 1,000 yards. I mean, he's got it all. It's a lot of fun. He had his Bobcat out there. We cleaned up a bunch of stuff, and it's just now. I mean, I'm telling you, it's a lot of fun. Although I don't know about you, Deacons, but I would love to go down there beforehand this time, clean out that structure. And
that structure, and, we need to tarp that top a little bit, yeah.
Well, I got some steel here we could put on it, honestly, and that's kind of what I want to do. So maybe we'll get that done before that happens.
It's the Whalen Restoration Project.
There you go.
Yeah, well, hey, Brian couldn't make it this weekend. They were planning on it, him and Mama Joe, and then they had a baptism. I think that was at the same time. He said they may be able to make it now, so that'd be awesome.
Well, that's
the more people that does it, the funner it's going to be.
Absolutely.
I think, and
my Jackie's got a new truck, so he can drive me up there. So they're
perfect. What do you got going there, Mike? The Cincinnati Reds or like
no.
Flames jersey?
This is celebrating our 51st state, Canada.
All right, perfect.
I love it.
Well, Clay, I see you decorated the mic up there, huh?
I did, yeah. I put a patch on it.
So I got some ideas for a new studio. Once Clay said the parts for the big supercomputer for coming up here coming in. So I think when that comes in, I'm going to change the background up here a little bit on mine. So stay tuned for that, I guess.
I keep adding junk. I got a clock.
Gives a character.
Look at my plan here in the next. Well, it won't be happening this month. I'm too busy. But next month, we gotta get biceps, as Jamie calls them, my son.
He does have some biceps.
We got to clean out the other side of this. I think when we do that, I'm gonna actually fur these walls out and finish this the way I wanted it. And then that'll be kind of complete. Put some plug-ins and things in that I really am in need of. But We're working on that.
Well, Josh said he can't do the 1st. It's his daughter's birthday. I mean, that's not a for sure, but I mean, as of right now, I'm saying.
Well, I'll tell you what. Ask Josh if I bring a cake for her. Will he bring her? And then we can just have, we can have it all together.
There you go.
Problem solved. See, I'm a problem solver.
Problem solver.
I like that.
Solve it. Just
the world needs a lot of problems.
Usually, your wife don't like your solution.
No, she does not like my solutions. No.
There. I'm trying to. I'll try this. My email, the program I used, crashed on me today. Well, it didn't crash. Microsoft has decided they're not going to continue servicing it anymore. Want me to go to the new one, which I'm never going to do. So I had to find a different one. We'll see if this. I'm having troubles. I just set it up today. I was going to put the caps up there. Kevin,
better late than ever, buddy.
There we go.
What's up, brother?
For a while. All right.
So, what do you guys? I don't want to hijack your show here. I just got a question. What do you guys thinking? So Zuckerberg talking about not, he's
Hold on
not
a second. I got you on that one.
Okay.
I got you, Jamie. I got you covered. Let's see what Zuckerberg had to say.
And replace them with community notes similar to X, starting in the U.S. After Trump first got elected in 2016, the legacy media wrote nonstop about how misinformation was a threat to democracy.
Mm-hmm.
We tried in good faith to address those concerns without becoming the arbiters of truth. But the fact checkers have just been too politically biased and have destroyed more trust than they've created, especially in the US. So over the next couple of months, we're going to phase in.
So what they're going to do is they're going to fire the guy that keeps knocking us off the air.
Yeah.
Over on Facebook.
Well, he said misinformation. They were the misinformation on us because they said we were gun dealers and promoting violence, and which was completely false. And they wouldn't even look at our when we send in have them review it.
Yep.
So I mean, are they gonna? I would love to just like talk to somebody from Facebook, and
like a human being. Yeah, that's
I'd say. So, are you guys still gonna be putting your freaking boot on the throat of gun companies and guns pages and hunting pages, or are you just full of shit? What are you gonna do here, right? And they said it's not gonna take effect for a little while here yet. And I seen who's their buddy up there, Friends NRA in Grand Forks.
Which one?
Navy guy, F-14, man.
I can see him, and that's bad.
I gave him a second chance after I beat him in the clay pigeon thing to win the gun, and then I missed the target, and he won it. So
I can't think of his
anyway,
name.
he put a thing up there about the Friends NRA, and they put him in Facebook jail. So obviously they didn't change that yet.
Wow.
Wait a minute, we actually have Friends of NRA pages on Facebook. That's like the stupidity of YouTube banning us because of we had that Yule log on there for copyright, and it came from YouTube.
Yeah. Morgan Stroh. There you go, Brian. Brian from Dickinson has to tell us to get in the state. Sorry, Morgan.
Name. Yeah, Morgan. Sorry, apologies. It's been too many years.
I mean, if somebody doesn't know, I mean, it was new. We had over 2,500 followers on Facebook, and they just flat out zapped us because they kept claiming we were gun dealers, and we kept telling them we're not. And we had to start all over now. We finally capped the 300, guys. We were struggling for a while, but we took over that mountain, and we didn't try any advertising yet on Facebook, but we're gonna, and hopefully they don't, because pardon me, we were doing good with that, Clay, right until then. And then once that happened, and then something after that, they nailed us for something. And
it was just one thing after another, and you know how frustrated I was getting with them guys. So they just didn't care. It was just one thing after another. And
it always makes me think it's one or two people that are in charge that just zap things, and then there's nobody to answer to. There's nobody to talk to.
Yeah. If you do get one of them to actually, get a hold of you, which they quit doing that even with me, because then I'd get mad and tell them go hump their camel, and then they'd be pissed. But
understandable.
I tell you what, you can't understand them when they call you. I couldn't believe I even got a call that one time, and that went south in a big hurry.
Yeah. Well, they claim they're getting rid of them guys. You're going to be able to actually, communicate with them. So I hope so.
We'll see.
I'm
not holding my breath.
Is it true that he's going to have Dana White on the board now?
Supposedly. I mean, I don't know what to believe and what not to believe.
All I know is that he did go to Trump down in Mar-a-Lago, and he did basically take the knee. So we'll wait to see what happens after that, because I guess he knows which side his bread is buttered. So
yeah. Well,
all right.
Hopefully,
Don
guys,
Jr. I was mixing the other guy here.
No, I saw that. No, hopefully Don Jr.'s in his dad's here, and he sits down with Zuck and tells him, "Hey, I'm a big gun guy, and you've been freaking screwing gun pages over for years here. It's about time you turn that shit around." So,
I've been listening. It's been great. I've been listening to Don Jr.'s book, Triggered. I got the book to read, which was fine, but I can throw that in the tractor and keep doing stuff. I'm telling you what, I really want to meet this guy.
That's why your rows are so crooked.
Is that what it is?
I agree, Brian.
I'm telling you, listening to the book and the things that he has done and hasn't done and where he's been, he's probably one of the most everyday guys we'd probably ever meet. So yeah, I think him, and it sounds like he's very involved. Always has been with the business after he grew up, I guess you could say. He didn't get serious till after 9/11, and he thought, I got to take care of things. And yeah, I highly recommend that book, Triggered, because it's a very down to earth, straightforward book. I really do.
Well, it's a good podcast you can watch on Rumble as well. He's got some, and Donnie likes to let some F-bombs fly on there too. So
Brian's right though. We believe it. We'll believe it when I see it. I'm with you. I absolutely, I don't trust Facist-book or CommieTube. And I don't know if you was listening, Jamie, but we're able to integrate now the text and chats coming in on Rumble. So I just got to figure out.
I didn't know. Okay, because I missed part of it when it started. I'd seen you guys. I was just getting in the shower, and
I got to figure it out. Another new thing I didn't ever want to learn.
They say you're never too old to learn.
I tell you what, guys, if you think you're going to start your own podcast, get ready, right, Jamie? Holy crap.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I've had people tell, how hard is it? You guys just go in there and talk about gun shit. I'm like, give it a go and then let me know how that works out for you.
And try to put out some decent content, too. I mean, that ain't easy either.
Yeah. Yeah, you got to be freaking entertaining and informative, and you just can't come on. Well, me and the boys went out the other day and blew some shit up, and it was great. And we started drinking beer and talking about women. And
well, we do that too, but that's
but you can't make a whole show about it, and that's what a lot of people think. That's all you do.
And thanks to Twitter, I see the numbers are growing, so it must have.
Twitter was kicking ass over there when I checked it out.
So thanks to the vetted Patriots, because I shared it there, and I appreciate everybody.
Yeah. Hey, by the way, that is a 501c now that Mark's running, and I'm gonna have him on eventually to talk about it and let everybody know more about it. But I was gonna have him on the last show, but I think they come down with COVID or some kind of flu bug, him and Nicole, so that kind of fell through. But definitely gonna have him on either on 701 Nation or on here with all of us, and which wouldn't be a bad idea to have all of us on there, because the vetted Patriot, they watch Guns on the 701 and my little putt on the side there, 701 Nation.
I don't think it's a putt. I was just talking. Me and Mike were talking about this. You got 701 Nation, Guns in 701, of course. You got it on. We're on with Dakota Mornings with Michael Bell, which we're going to 2 hours now. That's the first Monday of every month, and then we've got Mitchell in the morning, and we've got some crossover in there, but I bet it's less than 10% of crossover. It's 4 different listening audiences now, and I just can't thank everybody enough for tuning in. And the numbers we're seeing on both the Mitchell in the morning and with Dakota Mornings is great. I'm telling you, and our own numbers here are doing good with these other platforms. So thank you.
So Josh's boy started it. Started his own YouTube channel. It's at HuntHaven09. You want to check that out.
I got to tell you, back when Jack was just a little boy and he started a YouTube channel to review Nerf guns. He had his wall of Nerf guns.
Nice.
And he was doing guns back in the day. So I was pretty proud of him back then, and I'm proud of him now. So that's pretty cool.
Hey, Jamie, what was that again? The channel for his son?
At HuntHaven09.
09. Let's see if I can pull it up here.
Yeah. He is definitely followed by 701 Nation and Guns in the 701 already. So.
Awesome.
Yeah, Eric says, need to do another live gopher hunt, JD. In the window well was a high fence cage. Yeah, I forgot about it. I got it with the pink BB gun, as a matter of fact. I did notice Eric has a pink BB gun, too. He did put picture of him taking one out with the.
All right, there it is, guys. There's Hunt Haven. There, go give it a like at Hunt Haven 09.
At Hunt Haven 09.
Absolutely.
Yep.
Let's help him out a little bit there. Get him
See,
going.
he's got to get out there for the next. He's got to get out for the next brain bucket challenge reschedule and get some stuff going. Then.
Well, you can see, he's got busting clays with the vintage shotgun. We got the Ruger Air Hawk.
I get some good views on it.
Yeah, good. Yeah, look at that, 769 views. That's pretty darn good. I mean, 19 subs. Hey, my hat's off to him because I don't think we were doing that good at first.
No, it's probably the old man doing that. I got all the people in there.
Maybe that's what.
There he is. There's the man.
There it is, right there. We'll help.
Where are you at there, Josh? He's watching. What gun range is that in Wilton or he's somewhere else? Because it looks like Wilton, but I think when you went down range to me, it didn't look like Wilton. I haven't been up there in a while, but
there we're going down. Let's listen. Can you hear that?
For now,
yeah.
She's a single shot.
All right.
Josh Oakley there kicking her up with the boot and vaporizing it, man. Nice shooting.
Boom! Here it comes. Here it comes. Oh yeah, nothing but dust.
Okay, got the old Springfield out here. Got Dad throwing the clay. All right, pull.
Oh yeah.
There you go. There you go.
Boom. Perfect.
Oh, he's gonna do it himself here. Here we go. Nice, powdering them too. Just powdering it, man. Oh, you see the wad flying there.
Awesome.
What's up, guys? Right here.
So that was basically a short. But good job, right? I mean, come on.
That reminds me, by the way, Jamie, somebody was writing on our page earlier talking about how they should make, you were talking about what gun should be for North Dakota. And they said the 870, because everybody's got the 870 and it's been the standard for hunting.
I did vote for the pump on there, and I would be on board with the 8. I had an 870, a couple of 870s actually, but yeah.
I can tell you, I'm not for a shotgun at all.
Well, I'm not just for a state gun. I'm going with a bolt action rifle. I'm coming against you.
And we got to talk about that. We got to have bills in here.
Coming out on me here.
If we want to put a bill in here with the guys that want to carry it, we got to get it done quick. So I don't know. We probably need to get a hold of Kelly because you and I have both talked to him a little bit about this and see if that's something that we still want to do.
Okay. I mean, I mentioned it to my Senate representative, and they're pretty much sounded like, we're running out of time. But you said Magram, or who was it down in Fargo?
Magram will take it. Ben Koppelman.
Ben Koppelman, yeah.
Yep. And we're not out of time. If your guys don't want to do it, they're just lazy. It's plain and simple.
That could very well be. I brought it up to one of my House members a few times. I got no response. Sean, my senator, said he just said running low on time. And I mean, I don't know what it takes, Clay. How hard is it to be like, hey, I want this as the 3 state guns. What do you guys think?
All we have to do is get the wording to him and to Jeff or Ben. Then they take it to console.
Let's do it. Let's do it. Lever action. The process. All right, let's make the decision right here. Lever action. I'll concede that one.
Well, I think that's got to be Teddy Roosevelt's gun. That's who I got.
Okay. What are you going? We're going for a shotgun. We're going a pump.
Well, if we're going to break it out like that, I'd say then probably your 870. The Model 12 is pretty iconic too.
Yeah.
I mean, that was before. I don't know what are we going to base it on. That's the big thing.
I definitely by far know more people that own an 870 than anything else.
I think you're right on that today. But the Model 12s, of course, were put out of production, so there is that disadvantage.
Yeah. See. Well, so pistol, it's got to be some kind of revolver, I guess. I wouldn't know.
I think off air we need to visit more about this.
All right. All right.
I'll tell you what, Jamie, since you're here, I've got the Mama wants me to get off the air early tonight because well, no, it's because I've been working 14-hour days. So she says I've been falling asleep talking to her. So that's not good.
Maybe she likes that when you do the show with no pants on.
That was a good show. It was a very good show.
Was that when you and I did that one? And
Yeah,
I didn't
well,
know it was
here's
your
the
wife,
thing.
and she's like, "You wearing pants?" And I was laughing. I was like, this girl's she's after Mike here.
She knows. She knows.
You know what? If you have to go early and you've got no pants on, we understand.
No, yeah, but that's why I got the jersey on, because it hangs down like
it's long. Yeah, it's a little longer.
keeps my tush warm. Anyway, we got a badass for us tonight, and I'll tell you guys a little bit about it. Of course, going up to Montana and Alberta, Canada, talking about Running Eagle. She's a female warrior back from the 1800s. Very few on that. So throw that, guys, out to you if you throw that on later on, and I'll let you guys go for tonight, and I will catch you guys again next week.
All right.
Well, I didn't feel like I chased you off here, man. I almost
no, seriously.
No, I know she was talking to him earlier. You have
right.
to let me know how the pickup thing.
All right, Deke.
When you're on the phone.
Yep, I'm going to find out about that.
Think about that first date that February, and maybe we'll get that going. I'd love to have you come up, man. You and the boy, that'd be awesome.
Let me go talk to Jack about it. He's upstairs right now.
All right,
guys. Y'all have a good night. Thanks a lot.
You too, Mike.
Yep.
We'll
Later,
see you, buddy. Well, Josh said that was Wilton. Okay, like I said, I haven't been up there in a while. It looked like Wilton to me. I used to go up there quite a bit. So, yeah. He says, thanks for giving him a shout-out. He was supposed to have a short up from last weekend, him shooting his bow at 60 yards.
Yeah, I see it there. Maybe we'll have to do a little more of that and share stuff like that. We appreciate you sharing that with us so we could actually get him on here. Because
for
kids
sure.
do that, so.
Yeah. Yeah. Hey, anytime we can help out a young MVE, we'll do it.
Absolutely. Hey, it's like old times now. It's me and you.
Yeah, here we are. Yeah, hey, my picture's bigger now. I just got to get centered in here. There we go. You got to roll in the chair, but yeah,
it happened.
Good jump on here with you guys. Like again, sorry we had to cancel we canceled it this weekend. We're gonna reschedule it with the Muley Brain.
I think what we got to do too is we have a few of these yet. And we only use them for special things, so I think we ought to give one of these away in that challenge too. They're the gold ones. So
you know what we got to do, Clay? Almost like a coyote turn. We got to have either like the worst miss maybe gets the like, closest to the bullseye or some
award.
The fastest to drop the hammer, because the axe actually has a shot timer we're going to use, because that was one of the stipulations we're going to have is once we're clipped onto the spotting scope when we're on target. I mean, you got 10 seconds, because a lot of guys were in other competitions laying there and really taking time to aim. And
I remember that. When I came up for the deer challenge, I mean, that was probably as closest to what it would really be like here, because I rolled up a little late. We got out, undid our guns, and what did we do? We went to shooting.
Yeah, called you up and said we got a big whitetail buck out here, man.
I got a mule deer that's hanging on my wall because the neighbor come over and told me, "Hey, you got a big one down there south of your place." I literally did everything wrong with that deer, but I still got him with one shot. So I'm like one shot cap, man. Boom, one shot.
Well, he said on here when I was doing a stream, he's definitely not one shot. That's just his name.
Okay. Let's face it. I mean, my 270 is my go-to gun. It's hard for me not to grab that gun when I'm doing stuff. And, I bought that gun when I was young. I love that gun. It was the first year that the Model 70 came back out with the claw extraction from pre-64. And, I love that gun. So.
Yeah. Well, I mean, there's something to be, I'm most comfortable. Even when Axe and I were doing that ammo test there on that Fiocchi, I got behind. I haven't shot it in a long time. The 110 you got her deer with down at your place, and man, this thing just feels like a good old comfortable shirt putting on, man, because I've shot it so much. And I saw that one of the groups. If anybody didn't watch the video, I mean, that 4-shot group, it was under 3/10 of an inch. It just stacked them in there. That did. I'm real comfortable with that gun. Triggers broke in on that real nice, and I mean, it's a little slower with that 16-inch barrel, but it did the trick on that whitetail. I can promise you that.
Is she eligible for another youth tag? Or I know that Leighton got
for a buck tag, yep,
because he got his first one. I think that was I had to be there with him, and then the next year he was able to get the youth tag, and there's some kind of a mentor. There was 2 or 3 different tags he was eligible for. So.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, she is, but I mean, she's kind of giving me I don't know if I want to do that. And I told my buddy Healy the Hammer, his son there, I said, hey, you might have what do they call it when when you get to open to whatever you want to do over everybody else. What's the saying I'm looking for? It's kind of like a Greek. Nah, it's like a Greek saying or something.
I don't know.
Anyway, I told him you can have your choice, or you might be the guy having it. I mean, the only guy that can beat him is me with the crossbow, which Dad's got the corn going in the hunting shack. The crossbow might eat. So speaking, hey, did you see that text I sent you guys, Clay? I was watching some of the Protecting Americans' Right to Silence Act.
What was that deal?
So it's bipartisan. They say they even got a couple Democrats on board with this thing to kind of deregulate suppressors from the NFA, and I didn't look into it totally. I just kind of caught a little piece of it, and I took a screenshot of it and sent it to you. I haven't looked it up.
Americans' Right to Silence Act. Huh.
Yeah,
and that was 2024, huh?
Yeah, well, they claim it's coming back now, and they got co-sponsors that are Dems on it, and so hey, we'll take. Well, I mean, I don't know if it's as compare that to the Hearing Protection Act that's coming out. We talked with on Michael's show, but
yeah, I know.
Anything to get them things off in a $200 tax stamp, man. It's
and the only way this is going to change, especially this session of Congress, because Trump will sign it. He has said he'll sign it. He'll sign it again.
Mm-hmm.
Paul Ryan and the Republicans, unfortunately, the people that sunk that last time when we owned the House and the Senate and the presidency. So you need to call Kevin Kramer. You need to call John Hoeven here in North Dakota. You need to call Julie Fedorchak and tell them, hey, we want you to co-sponsor or sponsor the bill, and that's the Hearing Protection Act. Bring it back. Let's get it rolling. And then if you're in South Dakota, do the same. You got to call Alfred E. Newman down there, Dusty Johnson. You got to put pressure.
He does look like him.
On John Thune, John Thune's not the man he used to be, but on this, it shouldn't be an issue. He's always been pretty solid still on Second Amendment issues. And then, of course, you guys got Rhino Round. So you need to call them guys, put the pressure on them, and tell them you want the Hearing Protection Act. Yeah,
I'm just laughing. Clay's got a nickname for all these guys. It's good stuff.
Well, they've earned it.
I thought you were going to call him like Two-Step Thune or something like that.
Well, the name I have for Thune anymore ain't very nice.
Well, we'll see if Trump can keep him in line. I guess, when they were trying to get the speaker thing going, apparently Trump had to get on the horn and get these guys. And I understand if people didn't want Mike Johnson, but guess what, man? He was the only guy. Nobody, they didn't have a challenger for the guy, man. We got to roll with what you got. And if he's going to.
Ryan says, call it the Save the Kids' Ears Act. There you go. Do it for the kids. But yeah,
Save what's left of Grandpa's Hearing Act.
Yeah, I'm not a Mike Johnson fan. I truly am not. But it was either put him back in and get some things rolling on day one, which they did. They've already moved a bill out. And as many trips as Mike Johnson made down to Mar-a-Lago since the election, I think that I'm pretty sure that he's going to be following Trump's lead. Let's face it, if it wouldn't have been for Trump stepping up, he probably wouldn't be the speaker today, and we could have had something way worse. We have a slim margin in the House. It is. Just because we have the majority does not guarantee a Republican speaker. We could have ended up with a commie like Jeffries in there as the speaker.
Yeah, I was starting to get worried. I'm like, do you guys not realize what you're going to have here?
So just so everybody knows, the Speaker of the House don't even have to come from Congress, which I think would be fantastic. Bring somebody from the outside.
I nominate Clayton Peterson.
Oh, that'd be fine. You know what? I'd take it.
We'd be better off.
Then I'm going to put you in there right with me somewhere.
Perfect.
I'm telling you right now, it should be an outsider who's got no ties to any of them. They got nothing to gain personally. That would be the best Speaker of the House you could have. Got to be a constitutionalist and conservative and follow the constitutional rule of law. Other than that, you don't need anything else. And I can tell you, you'd see a way different House of Representatives. Who knows? People go, oh, nothing will get done. Good. You know what? We don't need any more laws. Do your job. We don't need a law for this, or there's a lot of laws we don't need. Do your constitutional duty. Put a budget together that's free and clear of all of these earmarks and all these, and pass the damn budget and fund the government correctly. That's what they need to focus on right now. But we all know that it's not going to happen.
So Josh asked me that Ruger shot a nice group. Did you have an M carbo? That did have it. That does have an M carbo trigger spring kit in it, Josh. My G2 does not yet. But after comparing the two, I think I even mentioned it in the video when I was doing it. I'm like, man, this I forgot I had the M carbo. I'm like, man, this old Ruger's got a better trigger than the new one. So, the M carbo trigger, if you don't know what that is, look them up. M carbo trigger springs. If you got a Gen 2 Ruger, I think they make it for other rifles too, but it does definitely improve your trigger on that too. So, well, Clay, I see we got another. Do we want to hit the badass here and then have you take care of that?
Why don't you do that? Yeah, we'll go get 2-month curator and we'll go nix him.
So where do you guys? I'm not even familiar where you keep the badass on here.
I'll go grab it here. So we're gonna do the badass of the week. Mr. Michael Deacons put that together for us once again. He does a great job. I think it's about 6-7 minutes long, and yeah, we'll have some fun. I'm gonna go get this guy, and then we'll come back. We'll do some sponsors probably right after that, and then we'll I don't know. I got a few things we can talk about. So.
Perfect.
Caution!
Right.
The following program depicts images and stories of badassery. From the dawn of human existence, there have been men and women of extraordinary strength, bravery, and fortitude.
So I'll just say this as simple as I can. If it's our time to die, it's our time. All I ask is, if we have to give these bastards our lives, we give them hell before we do!
These everyday people looked death in the face and said, "Not today." These stories are sometimes lost to time, but the spoken word is here to bring their tales to life.
Are you ready for tales that will shatter your spine and boil your blood?
Well, duh.
These men and women clawed, bit, punched, kicked, stabbed, shot, and whatever else it took to survive against all odds.
Baby, I would fight the kids' army for you.
Badass Mofos is a product of GAT701, a division of GunsInThe701.com and 701 Nation, where we pull a name from history and tell their tale of true badassery. Hey everybody, welcome to GAT701, the production of GunsInThe701.com and 701 Nation. This is Deke's Badass Mofo of the Week, the tales of the toughest. This is where we find somebody in history that needs to be talked about. We need to be remembered about how badass they were. And this time, we're going up to, well, kind of Alberta, Canada, and kind of Montana. It was a little different with the borders back then. We're talking about Running Eagle, also known as P. Tamaka, or the Brown Weasel Woman. She was a remarkable female warrior of the Blackfeet tribe. Born into the Piikani tribe in southern Alberta, Canada, she was the eldest among her siblings. From a young age, she showed a preference for traditional male activities such as hunting and fighting, which her father, an important warrior in the tribe, taught her despite the societal norms. Now, during the battle with the Pin de Artel, a major battle, during a hunting expedition, the group was attacked by the Azenabone, an enemy tribe. Now, the hunting party had fled. Her father's horse was shot. When Running Eagle saw this, she raced straight to the enemy fire. She dropped the fresh meat she was carrying and pulled her father onto a horse, saving his life. After this victory, she was celebrated and allowed to sing a victory song, and a scalp dance was done in her honor. Although many celebrated her victory, there were those who shunned her behavior. Some of the tribe worried that the other women would follow her lead and leave their duties as wives. This battle had established her leadership and combat prowess. Now, despite her successes, many of the tribe disapproved her breaking gender norms. One day, a group of tribe's warriors headed out into a raid on the Crow camp and take back their horses. Carrying her father's rifle, Running Eagle tagged along behind. It is said the party leaders spotted her, tried to make her go back home, yet she refused. He then threatened to call off the raid if she did not comply, and she replied that she would continue onto the Crow camp alone. With that, her stubbornness won out the day. During the raid, she successfully captured 11 horses for the tribe. She then kept watch while the men rested on their way back to camp. And upon spotting 2 enemy Crow men attempting to reclaim the stolen goods, she took them down herself. Once again, she was celebrated for those heroic acts, yet some still looked at her with disdain. Because of this disapproval, her elders suggested that she go on a vision quest, which included going into a remote area for 4 days and fasting, while one waits for the spirits to show them the destiny in a vision.
I usually watch about 14 hours of Netflix and end up getting dehydrated. That's kind of my vision quest.
Now, vision quests were an important rite of passage for male warriors, but not typically attempted by women, making it a fitting challenge to prove her worth as a warrior. Running Eagle agreed. And when she returned, she said she had a vision of the sun. It included the sun promising to give her great power in battle as long as she never slept with a man.
Preach it, sister. I'm the same.
Now, Running Eagle is remembered today as a symbol of courage, leadership, and defiance against traditional gender roles. Her legacy is celebrated in several ways. Talking about cultural symbol, Running Eagle is a powerful symbol within the Blackfeet community and beyond. Her story is often told to inspire and educate about the strength and capabilities of women. The historical recognition. She's recognized in historical accounts and literature as one of the few female warriors in Native American history who led men into battle. There is, of course, Running Eagle Falls, a great waterfall in Glacier National Park, Montana, that's named after her. Running Eagle Falls is a popular site that commemorates her bravery and leadership. Now, Running Eagle's life ended sometime after 1878 in a battle against the Flathead Warriors. Now, the Flathead Warrior that killed her went by the name of Zamalaya. The Flathead Warriors had heard that a woman was leading the war party, so they targeted her immediately, clubbed her from behind, and it is rumored among the Blackfeet that she died in battle because the sun stopped protecting her. Now, a couple of assholes in the tribe said that, the sun stopped protecting her because she slept with a man in the war party.
Yeah, somebody's always talking shit once you're dead, right?
Well, she died a successful warrior and a hero, doing what she loved, cementing her in history as 100% true and tried badass. Hey, we thank everybody for tuning in and listening to another episode of Badass Mofos. That's right, we're talking about the tales of the toughest. Every few weeks, we try to get out a story for you about somebody in history that is such a badass, you just gotta hear about it because we want the stories to spread. Now, if you've got a tale of someone in history you want to hear about, you can always email us at Mike@gunsinthe701.com. That's Mike@gunsinthe701.com. See that QR code? Hey, we're always working on stuff. Studio time takes money, equipment takes money, and you always got to buy subscriptions to different things in order to have all these programs and whatnot. So if you got a little money to spare, we know times are tight, well, go ahead and hit that QR code up there. We'd love to hear from you. Plus, if you need some merch, well, we've got you. We got you covered right there. Go to gunsinthe701.com. Check out our merch page. You can check out the back catalog for gunsinthe701.com. Also for Jamie over at 701 Nation, you can also check out back catalog for Badasses of History. I've got it all right there. We thank everybody for tuning in. And remember, of course, as my friend Clay always says, keep your powder dry and stay safe, you bunch of badasses.
All right. Hey, he does a hell of a job, don't he?
So that was awesome as usual. A couple things though, Clay. I got a couple of takeaways from that.
What's that?
First and foremost, which might piss some people off, but I'm going to say it anyways. Did you notice, Clay, that the other Indians were fighting the other Indians that we never really taught about in school, right?
Yeah.
In case anybody thinks that, it wasn't just the white man. The Indians were taking land and shit from each other before we got here. So that's called reality. I'm glad Deacons put that up. Number two, she is a freaking badass. They killed her because she was a woman, right? I mean, unbelievable.
Yeah.
They targeted her for that, right?
Had to go get a refreshment there,
What the hell do you got in there? I like that.
Them are ice cubes that are like
those bullets are?
Yep. You put them to clean them off again, and then I got them from my niece for Christmas. Pretty cool, huh?
Yeah.
I thought we got a gel in there or something. I just love it.
That's really cool. I like that. I like that.
I had to go.
No, I forgot about the QR code thing there too, and Deacons brought that up. Yeah. Hey, if you guys can do that, for sure. I mean, if you don't think $5 or something would help us, I can tell you that it will.
And let's see. Well, we've been off. I've been off for 2 weeks. The last one we did, the last part of the year, we actually had a guy scan it, and I don't know who you are. I know what your handle name was, but hey, thank you. We appreciate that and the generosity. So yeah, was a $100 donation.
I'm just waiting for one of these old rich guys with no kids to find us and like, this is great, and then just drop like $2 million in there for us.
We gotta get Don Jr.'s here. I know he loves it.
Yeah, yeah. Come on, or his dad. You got his dad's glass right there. Come on,
heck, come on. Yeah, we can set him up with a great sponsorship.
Put that $2 million in one big beautiful bill. I want $2 million for guns and a 701 in there.
The official Second Amendment outlet, right? So, before we get going too far here, let's take a quick break and thank the sponsors. I've been kind of lax on that tonight. Let's go ahead and we're going to do the big one. We can't do it without our sponsors, and we enjoy and appreciate everything they do. Here we go.
LAUER Auto Repair, located at 309 South Washington Street in Bismarck, North Dakota.
Give them a call at 701-258-6308.
The team of mechanics at LAUER Auto can take care of any problem your vehicle is having. And when you do business with LAUER, you can be assured you're doing business with a pro Second Amendment America First repair shop. There are plenty of other auto repair shops in the Bismarck-Mandan area. But why take a chance at patronizing a shop that might not have your beliefs at heart? Make no mistake. LAUER Auto is your pro Second Amendment repair shop. When you talk to the guys at LAUER Auto, don't forget to tell them that you heard they are a sponsor of Guns and the 701 and that you appreciate their support of our pro Second Amendment, pro North Dakota live stream and podcast. That's LAUER Auto Repair, 701-258-6308.
701-258-6308.
Located 309 South Washington Street in Bismarck, North Dakota.
Experience the exhilaration of power in your hands at Bloodline Kinetics. Why Cerakote? Simply, it aids in firearm preservation while also giving your piece a unique look. Barrel threading, NFA laser engraving, bolt handle threading, mount, level, and bore, sight scope chamber, rebarreling, and much more. Bloodline Kinetics is meant to reflect a long American lineage in gun ownership, who stand for the Second Amendment rights, Bloodline, and the science behind gun accuracy. Kinetics. To some, it's just a constitutional right that can go away. To us, it's in our American bloodline, and we believe it should stay that way. Here at Bloodline Kinetics, we understand that hunters, sportsmen, women, and gun owners should have a quality firearm. Stop and see us at 2008 Morrison Avenue 2 in Bismarck, North Dakota, 58504, Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Call 701-390-7997. Visit our website, bloodlinekinetics.com.
Ever tried catching a fish with your bare hands or hunting a deer with a stick? Don't be that guy. At Mandan Sporting Goods, we've got all the hunting and camping gear you need. We're your one-stop shop for outdoor adventure.
A well-regulated militia being necessary to the security of a free state, the right of the people to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed.
Check us out at mandansportinggoods.com, or better yet, stop in to 210 East Main Street, Mandan, North Dakota. Mandan Sporting Goods, where the outdoors meets functionality. Store hours, Monday through Saturday, 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. Closed Sunday. Take up arms at Mandan Sporting Goods. Your adventure starts here.
Looking for the best gun gear for every and any situation? Little Angry Man Arms LLC has you covered. Top-notch guns from top-name brands like Winchester, Glock, Sig Sauer, and Ruger to essential extras from Magpul's, Streamlight, Hollow, Sun Optics, and more. Little Angry Man Arms LLC have everything to make your shooting adventures a success. Visit littleangrymanarms.com today and gear up for your next big hunt, competition, or home defense. Don't miss out on our exclusive deals. Little Angry Man Arms LLC, based in Trail City, South Dakota, your ultimate hunting partner.
Dan Anvil Brand LLC, raising and training tomorrow's barrel horses right out of Bismarck, North Dakota. Tracy and her family are great American patriots who not only support the Second Amendment, but they also promoted what you're looking for, top quality barrel horses. Go ahead and give Tracy a call at 701-471-6629 and tell them Guns and 701.com sent you. That's Anvil Brand LLC out of Bismarck, North Dakota.
Yeah, hey, look, I got the moves like Michael, the flow like Aubrey. Walk around thinking I'm a prince like Saudi. Mismatched Converse, t-shirts tucked in. Know my worth, can't tell me nothing. White Nikes, albino, pink cop.
All right, we are back. Hey, Anvil, I love the fact we got them on board too. If you need any great barrel horses, that's the people you need to go take a look at and get in touch with, isn't it, Jamie?
Absolutely, right here, southeast of Bismarck. They do a hell of a job. They actually contacted us about sponsoring us, so I really appreciate that. Tracy and Travis down there. Tracy does an awesome job. She's been doing that for years, and dedicated horsewoman running them barrels, and great Americans. They're great Americans.
And tomorrow I'm planning to go over and talk to Horton Laser Craft. Sounds like they're going to come on board. I didn't get over there today. I was just kind of too busy, but I think we're going to have them on as a new sponsor. They're the ones that actually made, they made those. I don't know if anyone has seen those coasters. He done these. We have some olive green ones. So yeah.
Yeah, I've been using the hell out of that.
Oh, I love that.
Great. And hey, you saw that text Mike sent us, didn't you, Michael Bell? He said his family's jealous. They thought it was awesome work on that. They love it. They're jealous.
Oh, yeah. And thanks to Mike, I should have worn my Dakota Mornings cap tonight. It's sitting on my deal upstairs. And
I would have. I just not got out of the shower, but I'll get him in. I'll get him in on some videos.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Maybe when we redo the,
I'm hoping we can get him out to the brain bucket. That's what I'm hoping. Have him, and maybe if Todd could come out, that'd be great. Get both them guys out. I'm telling you guys, it's because of Todd and of course Michael that we're on KFYR 550, and we can't say enough. We appreciate it because they're the guys that made that happen, and we get a big following there. So thanks again for that.
Heck, Todd, I'll even give you 20 seconds to drop the firing pin.
There we go. We got to have Todd on. I know we said we were going to do it. We haven't. We just need to have Todd on and talk some stuff because Todd actually has a lot of information. And Todd grew up in that Minnesota area, in the Twin Cities area. And trust me, Todd's got some stories that are very Second Amendment relevant. So, all right. During the break there, I looked up the Protecting Americans' Right to Silence of 2024 called the PARTS Act. It was introduced as House Resolution 10145. It is a bipartisan bill aimed at modernization and clarifying the federal definition of firearm suppressors under the Gun Control Act. The bill was introduced by Representative August Pfluger, Republican from Texas, and Jared Golden, a Democrat from Maine of all places. Imagine that.
Nice. Thanks, Jared.
And it's supported by Silencer Shop and the American Suppressor Association. And Silencer Shop, we all know that's probably one of the biggest ones. There's a couple in Silencer Co. and in Silencer Shop. The key points of this, I just kind of did the outline here. It's going to redefine a suppressor to focus on complete devices and a one principal component. This way, it's similar to how firearms frames and a receiver are defined. Simplifying the purchase process for legal silencer owners by removing the requirement for an additional ATF paperwork for consumable silencer components, such as wipes. I mean, it makes sense, right? Addressing outdated regulatory language to prevent potential overreach by federal agencies and ensure clear guidelines for compliance, which we've been seeing. Although
I can say potential, they are doing it already.
They are doing it, and as we saw, although like I said, we gave kudos where they're allowed and needed, and the ATF did speed up the process. I mean, now we're starting to get
I mean, honestly, Clay, do you think Biden even knows that?
Probably. Biden don't know anything. They're looking on to him and saying, "Here, President Biden, sign this, sign this." This guy has no clue.
Yeah, I mean, I think somebody just slipped that in there that they're going all electronically. I mean, somebody didn't agree with what he.
I'm glad he did.
Me too, because there's no damn way, Clay, that Biden would have approved that if we would have known that. There's no freaking
know
way.
What he signed. Has no clue.
No.
It's also the bill is going to protect the consumer access to silencers while fostering innovation and supporting Second Amendment rights. It is critical measure given the current low silencer wait times. And it also is going to try to remove, the way it sounds, the $200 tax stamp. Essentially, it's going to make it a non-NFA item, is what this is working towards.
Yeah. And they said it's all a one-page bill. It's not a...
Yes. It's
perfect.
That's how every
God, I
bill.
love that when they do
Honestly,
that. I love that.
Every bill should be a one-page bill, honestly.
Yes.
I've been involved enough in this stuff. It's lawyers. And a lot of them are. And politicians that complicate bills, or things like legislative councils. I've always hated the fact, this is not how it's supposed to be designed. I shouldn't have to bring forth language for a bill, have a legislative council, which, let's face it, they're internal attorneys there up at North Dakota Legislative Council, who have agendas, and you can see it when they rewrite your bill. That ain't how this is supposed to work.
I know Marty Beard told me that. He said he goes up, he pretty much retired, and he goes up there for that. And he's like, you can't understand when them guys start talking. If a normal person can't. And Marty's not a dumb guy. Marty's a smart guy. He graduated from Mary. Why, he did not. Marty Beard did. Damn right, he's a smart guy. He said he can't. Smart. He goes, I can't understand half of the shit. There's more than half. He said it's just political or lawyer mumbo jumbo.
Hell, you know that.
My apologies, Kelly. Kelly's an attorney, but he comes on. He's pretty much talking like a common guy to us.
I'm pretty darn fluent, right? I mean, I
for sure.
probably better than most.
Yeah,
but I'm telling you right now, a lot of these things, when I read them, they're getting worse, Jamie, and it's on purpose. It's just like nothing against Kelly. And like I said, he's going to be one of the most pro Second Amendment guys we've ever had in there. But I just read his outline for what he wants to do with property taxes. I understand that it probably has to be the way it is, because, again, and how many times have I said this? It isn't what you want; it's what you can pass.
Right.
There's a lot of truth to that. Is it better to not pass anything, or is it better to take the little incremental steps and pass and get what you can and keep working on it?
Yeah, I mean, as much as you hate to do it, that's the way it's got to work, man. And we had our chance, and the people, they didn't do it, man. It pissed me off. I wanted it to go the other way, but it didn't. So,
and I think I know it would have worked. Really, what Kelly outlined is he took a lot of the things from Measure 4 and implemented into his plan.
I like the Peterson plan there, where you told me how you were going to do it with the sales tax and everything was. I mean, I was way on board with that. Nothing's more fair than, because I want to be fair, right? Everybody was going to pay their fair share in sales tax. And
I'm telling you, a user tax is always going to be the fairest tax if you have to have one, which I would have equated to sales tax. Everybody, what about the counties that don't have a lot of businesses? Well, in my plan, it wouldn't have mattered. State collects it anyway.
Right.
Guys, the sales taxes are collected and sent to the state. I don't know, but if you don't own a business, you wouldn't freaking know, because you just don't understand anything or pay attention. Anyway, sales taxes get submitted to the state of North Dakota. From there, they're doled back to the counties. Well, this is a pretty easy thing. You collect that sales tax. Well, let's say it's a 1 cent sales tax. That's just 1%, right? It's a 1 cent sales tax. Those sales taxes then will go to the state, be collected, and then divided equally amongst all the counties. That's a pretty simple thing. Oh, what about what about the people that out in Fargo get all the oil money from taxes that are coming from different funds? There's no such thing as equal. Okay, there's no equality in taxes. There's nothing really, not even there. And unless you do it that way, we can't get rid of property, because the goal should be elimination of rent to the government for your land. That should be the goal. I should never, ever, ever have to pay a tax on my property to own it. That is rent.
I gotta admit, I didn't look at it that close yet, Clay, but is there anything in there that would exclude like somebody like 16 senior citizens from paying it? I mean, is there any?
Well, it isn't that detailed yet, as far as what I saw.
I mean, at the very least, if, like you're saying, take a little bit out, I would like that to be put in there. So, I mean, right? Because the 3% thing, I was read that and I was like, well, shit, then the next year they're just going to raise another 3% at the local level, and you're getting screwed anyway. Because you can't raise it above 3%.
What I really don't like about the plan, again, is its rebates. Oh, well, you file this form and you can get this rebate. And you file that form,
that sucks.
and it can go up incrementally over 10 years. Which I don't mind the 10-year thing, because you can't do it all in one big sweep, although you could. But let's just say for it to swallow that bullet fast, let's do it over 10 years. That's fine. I got no issue with that.
You're swallowing some bullets there in your drink.
Yeah, right there. Yeah.
Yeah.
But, you know, it's taxes are always going to suck, okay? But when I start seeing the services which we do in Sioux County go down, when they talk about, well, there's no businesses to support what's happening, you should just see what the Sioux County commissioners just put out in the letters I got. I think it's going to result again in a higher tax threshold next year. I've seen a raise in these property taxes every single year for the last 5 years, even after the buy down. You cannot buy things down at the state level. And if you just give that money to the county unrestricted, well, what do you think they're going to do with it? Exactly what they did. They bought a new grader, and they did not relieve property.
Oh, we got this money. We got to spend this shit.
They spent it. They spent every freaking dime of it. That's kind of why I was running as a county commission. I'm going to run again. Ken Snyder, putting you on notice. You're fucking going down this time again.
I like that.
I didn't have a lot of time to run the campaign.
You know what I want to see then? I want to see you and him do a debate on Michael Bell's show and on Todd and Mitchell in the morning. And Daryl's show, for that matter. Come on, Daryl, you want to get some real conservatives in there, get Clay on there?
I mean, I look at that now that it's only a 3-person commission. What I'd like to see is we need to eliminate the districts in Sioux County. There's no reason to have districts in Sioux County. It's all at large, because right now you have 2 districts. One of them essentially encompasses Fort Yates. And we know why that was created. And you want to talk about prejudice and racism. That district being created was for one type of person. Let's just face it. That's a reality. Get rid of the districts, go at large. This end of the county has no representation whatsoever. It's District 3, and it goes from the western edge of the county damn near to the outskirts. Well, it does, to the outskirts of Fort Yates. Tell me how that's represented.
That's a long freaking way.
It's 100 miles of Fort Yates from here.
Yeah. That's a big area.
So no districts at large. Let's have some fun with this, and I think then you'll see some things change, because you can motivate people to vote, especially if they're pissed off, especially if their taxes are going up. But when you can't take out somebody in District 1 because it's encompassed around one city, and those people are never going to vote that person out. He's going to die in office.
Yeah. So not to change the subject, but you know, we always bitch about how they're, and with duly so, too many tags getting doled out.
Yeah.
I've been listening to a lot of podcasts. I like Texas Predator podcasts and some of these other ones. And he said he went like antelope hunting in New Mexico, which New Mexico is known for, I mean, antelope hunting Mecca, right?
And
he said, I never hunted there. He said, but the people I saw, the number, he passed on the first day, right? He was help his buddies out. Him and his 4 of his buddies went there, get together and do some. And he said, I'm just going to help my buddies out and do some videoing and talk about, you know, just have some fun with your friends. He doesn't want to get it over with. And he said the next day there were the antelopes. He said you couldn't get within 1,000 yards of them. There were so many damn hunters. He said I hardly saw any bucks. And he said, I'm not from New Mexico, but he goes, why the hell you guys are doling out all these tags of people? And it was kind of the same thing we say, Clay. You know, it's herd management, and they're giving all the, you know, but he said it's ridiculous. He said I could have shot a couple dinks. He goes, I didn't go to another state to hunt antelope to shoot a freaking dink. And he goes, I eat my animals. I love wild. And you know, it's the same thing in all these other states. And South Dakota, I saw in South Dakota, I think it's Big Bucks, South Dakota Big Bucks or something on Facebook. The guy, I don't know if it's a guy or gal who runs it. I'm assuming it's a guy. Oh, you sexist pig, JD. But he said the same thing. He said there's so many dink bucks. He said they should. There's got to be something. It's kind of the same thing you're talking about, Clay. Pick your weapon, one tag. And most people agreed with them on it on there. I mean, I didn't say nothing, but I just kind of read the comments and.
Let's throw this out to everybody, because I know a lot of people, they hate this one tag idea. That's fine. I get it. But if we're out there, what do? We raise money. Let's just look at the foundation for the NRA. We were raising money to support and promote shooting sports, right? And hunting. Mm-hmm. We wanted to get the kids involved, right? Mm-hmm. Okay, you get the kids out there, get them shooting. So what do the states do? Well, they have youth seasons, they have mentor seasons, they have all these great seasons for kids to get them out there and hunting. Great, right? And
allegedly.
then, well, yeah, you know where I'm going with this. And then all of a sudden, they become adults. Now they have to go out and actually find places to hunt. And what is it, 5% or just a little over 5% is actually public access in this state?
Mm-hmm.
It's not a lot of land. Then they
Right.
increase tags because Game and Fish is one of the biggest, what do I always call them? The biggest outfitters in the state.
Right.
The
And that's
biggest
what the guy in South Dakota was saying
operation
on his page. Yeah, they
in-
want their
in the
money.
state. They want their money. So they keep increasing tags, and then they blame things like CWD for pick your animal, mostly mule deer. And they declare CWD units, even though it's kind of like China virus. Nothing has ever really been found that died of CWD, but died with it possibly, and allegedly, because people turned in heads. So really, they died of a
Oh,
bullet.
they'd never even known.
Or a bow from a hunter. Yeah, the hunter was the cause of death, not CWD.
Yeah.
And then we turn around and say, all right, as we saw in 3F2, and if you look at all the CWD units, you know what I noticed? The increase in tags. I think they were trying to kill them off.
Oh, 100%, Clay. That was 100% what was going on there.
In the name of CWD, that they collect money to study, but yet have gotten nowhere, and they won't listen to anybody that has had success in other states like Texas and Colorado. I'm not even going to go down that rabbit hole tonight. We need to change this. It's a circle of death, really, if you really want to get down to it. We have a huge problem with what's going on, and it's not going to be cured with money. A one-tag system might help, because then you can go out there. Everyone, as you put more hunters into the pool, and that's what we do when we encourage everybody to start hunting and shooting, right, Jamie? You're creating more hunters. You're putting them in that pool. They're all competing for the same tags, and now we have the issues we got. I mean, South Dakota, I don't know how many tags Eric had, and I know Eric loves it, and Eric truly does eat a lot of deer meat. There you go. He just chimed in. There's a lot of good deer out there. The ones bitching are the assholes that don't get off the road. Oh, absolutely. I don't disagree with that.
So that was one of their things they started out was, right, nobody needs four. Why in the hell would anybody need 4 tags? That was kind of caught my eye there on the headline of it.
Well, you take
I guess I don't know how the hell you get 4 tags, but whatever. However you do it down in South Dakota. I'm not from there. I don't know how it works.
So in South Dakota, and I got to remember, I haven't hunted down there for so long, but like Eric has him and his wife, and he's got 6 children. Okay. They don't eat beef really. They have some, they eat lamb, and Eric can chime in anytime here, but he eats a lot of wild game, antelope, deer. So he can get a tag. His wife can get a tag. His kids that are of age can all get tags, which would be Gunner and Prairie and Sierra. They're all of age. And then you can also apply for the West River buck tag. I think there's a muzzleloader tag, archery tag. I mean, you start adding these, and you got to remember, all his family members, him, and they all do hunt. Eric and Charity and his 3 daughters can all, or his 2 daughters and his son can all apply for them same tags. So when you start talking about the amount of tags that a family could have, you could have 10 tags possibly, depending on how many in your family hunt. And do they need all them? Probably. I see how they eat. When we all get together, trust me, they're all hearty eaters, and that's a good thing. But that's what they eat. And this idea that it's cheaper to do it, it's not. They do it because they love it, and there's nothing wrong with that. They're eating good, healthy protein meat that doesn't have anything in it, and it's a healthy lifestyle. I get it.
What I'm just going to agree with, Clay, there are just too many tags, period, with the deer population right now. I would 100% agree with that. And something that I will say, too, that to this day, I will relent on a few other things, just some bow hunters, but one thing I will never freaking relent on is I don't like the whole statewide freaking smorgasbord for them. Any unit you want, any deer you want. That's bullshit. I don't like that. I think that's bullshit. I think bow hunters should have a unit to apply in as well, just like rifle hunters.
I agree.
Okay. And you still want your long season? Okay, fine. I'll give you that. But I don't like that, but I'll do it. But going anywhere in the goddamn state you want, I think that's bullshit. And then you go all the way until freaking January. No way.
You know, I got chewed out again this year. I do every year. I have someone stop. Well, can I bow hunt? No. Why not? Because I haven't hunted yet. Well, what do you mean? I go, well, it's August, September, whatever the hell month it is they stop. I said, I don't let anybody else really hunt here unless I mean, I've got the guys I let come and hunt during rifle season, and they're great guys, you know, and I've made some great friends that way. But there's only so many people that I can let hunt. It's that simple. But as far as archery goes,
I'm just bow hunting. What do you mean? I just want to bow hunt.
Yeah, I just want to take your biggest fucking buck on your place beforehand.
Yeah, I know. I always liked that one too.
I told one guy, I said, fine. I said, you want an archery hunt? I said, go set up in my trees here and you can shoot a doe. Whoa, I don't want a doe. I said, then don't hunt. I said, I'm telling you right now, you're not hunting bucks on this place until I am done hunting after the season. And then you probably aren't going to either because there's already people that asked ahead of you.
Yep.
It's that simple.
And I will tell you, as a guy who's I've bow hunted since 2011. I killed 2 deer. I could have killed one every year, but I didn't. But that, if you bow hunt and you really are like a meathead and you like, if you like, well, like the guys at the tie, I like venison. I call it deer meat. But shoot it with your bow because that's the best deer meat I've ever had. And both deer. I mean,
I'm a big believer in if you want to hunt for meat. I'm telling you straight out, I like to hunt for antlers. Okay, that's my privilege.
Yeah, me too.
I own the place. But I can tell you straight out that if it gets down to it, that's what really torques me off. I'm glad I get a gratis day because I can choose towards the end of the season to take a doe. South Dakota has that. I think it's one of the problems North Dakota has is they force you to get a buck tag. They got to make it a buck or a doe. Make it. I think South Dakota's used to be, and Eric or someone from South Dakota can correct me, but when I was hunting down there, you could apply for an any tag and any mule deer tag or any whitetail tag, and then any antlerless. That was the tags in Corson County here. So I could shoot, if I got the any deer, I could shoot a doe or a buck of a mule or a whitetail species. And I didn't have to take a buck. If I didn't find a good mature buck, Jamie, a lot of times I took the nicest, biggest, fattest doe off a cornfield because it tasted really good.
Right. Yeah, especially they're eating corn. I mean, there's definitely something. I don't care if it's a whitetail or a mule deer. If you get them and they're in, the open freaking prairie of Southwest North Dakota or Wyoming, they do freaking taste. Like I said, if it's a whitetail, I've had whitetail that tastes like shit, just as much as I have mule deer. And it's because of what they eat. That's what I mean. When you kill them in bow season, they're eating nice green shit. They're not all hormoned and then testosterone up or whatever deer got in there. I mean, it's just a better tasting animal, not only because of what they eat, but the time of year. So.
And I'm going to piss some people off by saying this: we got to quit hunting our deer during the freaking rut.
Yeah,
got to quit that. And a lot of states have quit it. Is it going to be harder to get a buck? I don't know. I mean. Yes and no. If it depends on where you're hunting, right? On my place, I bet it's not. I know where them deer are when they start moving in here in August, and I know where they are the entire season. It isn't until the season when rut comes along that they start moving around.
Yeah, then they start. Yeah, exactly. Because you see some of your deer leave, but you see new ones come in that you've never seen before. And
like the whitetail I was chasing this year, I didn't see him all year. He just popped up that second to last week. And then I tried, I tried to get him. I never got him, so I didn't even fill my tag. But whatever. I mean, that's hunting, right? But where'd that deer come from? I have no clue.
One of the comments the guy had on the South Dakota big bucks there, he said, that's what a couple of them said, just stop hunting the rut. And he said, especially mule deer, because he said muleys, and I agree with him 100% because he said muleys are absolutely completely stupid when it comes to the rut.
They got one thing on their mind. As long as you don't spook those, even the bigger mule deer, if you're doing it right, like Eric said, get out of your vehicle and put some freaking leather to dirt and get out there and hunt. And yes, we've all probably been in our mobile hunting blinds, as Waylon likes to call them. But the best way to do it is to get out there and cover some ground. I actually prefer hunting horseback, and we got a horse again, so I can't wait to get him so I can start hunting off him again. I love hunting coyotes off a horseback. You want to have a great hunt, use a horse. But not everybody can do that. Not everybody has a place to keep a horse. So, but get
Right.
out there and walk, and you're going to find deer. It's just that simple.
Yep. Well, they're doing their flyover here pretty soon, I think, aren't they? For the
Could be, I suppose. Having old Jeb and the boys there.
maybe Jeb's got a jet now.
I'd probably put the kibosh to that. Maybe use Robinson money, and they can look at frogs from their jet. Maybe that's how.
Well, there's plenty of that around, right? After last, how many months was it, Clay? 1 million.
Yeah.
Anyway, go ahead, read that.
I was say Doug. He puts in here. I forgot some in South Dakota. You got East River, West River, Hills Deer, Special Buck, Custer Park, Archery, and Muzzleloader. There you go.
You can get all those as a South Dakota resident?
Yes, you can. You
Wow.
can get every single one of them. And you'll love this. East River starts after West River. So they do that so that they can apply for their West River tags, come out here and chase our deer around and be dumb, and then head back East River. And they're, oh, you can go over there and hunt. Why the hell would I want to go East River? That's what we always said, you know. And then, Black Hills deer. I forgot you. We used to always go down there and hunt Black Hills deer. So, yeah.
Hey, Boom's back. Welcome back, Boom. Crisis averted. Anytime you can avert a crisis, it's a good thing, brother.
I went and checked his channel out. You guys might want to check it out. Boom, where are you from, by the way?
He's from Dickinson.
Dickinson.
He was
okay.
on, first time
North Dakota or South Dakota.
Yep. Yeah, he's
glad to have you tuned in. We did subscribe and follow your channel, so just so you know.
Yes, sir.
Thanks for tuning in.
Well, okay, Eric says they're doing flying already. My buddy does the flying. Okay.
There you go. There you
Jump
go.
in there, Eric, and then get some coyotes and go along with them.
We got to get Eric, you got to get some decent internet down there so we can put you on. You know, we tried that one time, but the phone just don't.
Couple times. Yeah, that just didn't.
Eric's our resident taxidermist. He does some great work. I can't tell you. I mean, I've got a deer hanging over here that he did that just fantastic. He does great work. Grizz's Taxidermy, and we'd love to get him on here and just talk about what you should do if you're, whether it's a pheasant or deer, antelope, elk, whatever it is. What should you do when you want to make it a taxidermy?
Yeah.
He just got a buffalo hide. I know someone that was doing some butchering. We ended up keeping a couple hides. He's going to get that tan. So, yeah, I'm looking forward to that. Because you know what I want? Legends of the Fall, buddy. I want the screw the government robe, I call it. Yeah. And I will wear it. I'll probably wear it to church.
Mr. Ludlow, sir. Here's the Coxial double hammers.
Oh, my God. I love that. I love that movie. Let's see. He says, appreciate it. Prairie dog and coyote hunting fool. When I'm not laid up in the Cerakote shop. Yeah, I noticed he does some Cerakoting there. So,
yep.
Our sponsor, Bloodline Kinetics, they do some great Cerakote work. That's you can see it, but the
just
color
match. Don't touch it.
Right there, it is blue, guys. Unless you're in certain light, then it's purplish blue.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie to you, Claire. That just looks like a black AR on the.
Yeah,
okay, I mean, now that I know the barrel's gold, I can see that, but.
And there's the.
So when I redo my thing, I'm gonna get that hanging up here, and I'm gonna get Eric's.
Yeah.
Is that the new model mini, or is that the old
mini? I've had that for years.
Okay, so they claim the new ones. I watched this thing the other day again about a guy claiming how much more accurate they are, and it's gonna be just as good as an AR with these new barrels.
There's the AK. The preferred weapon of your enemy. It makes a distinctive sound.
Yeah.
Heartbreak.
Yeah.
I have the fun gun there. That's the one with all the pinstripe. That's an AR-15.
If anybody can tell me that the new minis are definitely more accurate than the old ones, I'd be in it, because mini 14s are freaking badass. I like mini 14s.
I did a little trigger work on mine years ago, and it did help, but their triggers suck.
Well, they say they got the barrel harmonics different,
I gotta admit, this one here wasn't bad for grouping for a mini 14. It'd do the job. It really would. But it was one of them guns.
Give me your not bad.
I was shooting a 2-inch, which is not bad for me.
Okay, all right, I'll give you that. That's not bad really for an old mini. Because the new ones, they claim they're like inch and a half.
Oh yeah, this was, and that's the way those mini 14s were. You either got one that would group or one that wouldn't.
So that was with iron sights at what range?
That was at 100 yards.
Okay.
But
that's hey,
that
not
was
bad, man.
I could get it between a little less than 2 to 2, but that's all that gun would ever do. I never stretched it out
So I
farther.
mean, honestly, it iron sights at 200 yards, which I mean that's a pretty realistic range. You're going 4 inches, which is I mean you're in the kill zone.
You're in the kill zone. You could do it. I've got a scope on it now, but it's not. That was one of them guns I just had to have in the collection, right? So that's why I have that gun.
So Boom, I got to answer this quickly. Boom says, "Are we still having a challenge this weekend?" No, Boom. We're supposed to get, and I know. I'll tell you what. We're supposed to get 2 inches of snow.
Yeah.
Wind blowing, probably around 20 at Axe's place like usual. So we did take it, cancel it for that, and a bunch of people were like, "Well, why do you cancel it? Because of snow and wind?" Because it's video purposes. If we try and video and the snow is blowing around, it's gonna be shit. You're not gonna see nothing. And as I said in the beginning, that when I jumped on with these guys, that's one of the main reasons we do it is to video it. And on top, our sponsors are sponsoring us. They want to see someone have a good video, and I want to do a good video for them and get people watching. So we are going to reschedule, and we'll let everybody know. We're talking about the 1st of February, right?
Yeah, that's what I kind of was hearing, and I'd be all in on that. I should be able to make that. I really should.
Yeah.
Hey, thanks everybody over there at Rumble. Rumble's been pretty good tonight, so thanks again everybody for tuning in. Rhino HD, good evening. Glad to have you listening over there too.
Awesome.
And I don't see them all. I got one here. Extended range. I think residents should get tags before non-residents. Then that's been kicked around. He also said, I haven't gotten a North Dakota tag in 5 years, but I see Wisconsin, Minnesota tags all over. And he's now a monthly supporter. Thank you. That's on the Rumble side. I'll have to go check that out.
Sweet. Appreciate you, man. That's awesome. Hey, he deserves a buck tag now in North Dakota, doesn't he?
Yeah, I might have to tell you what. If you could email us at guns in the 701, and as a monthly supporter like that, we're gonna get you a olive green water bottle. How about that?
Love it. I got one. It's awesome too. It's badass. Hey, Clay, why don't you go back there? Eric had some comments about. I think he was looking at the chats there on the guys from Sodak on. Told you the South Dakota big bucks.
Just a bunch of people bitching on the page.
Yeah.
Talking about their keyboard warriors, people getting multiple tags, they're applying for leftovers. That's another thing. So they need to shut their pie hole. So that is the system there. You apply for them first tags, right? In each prospective season, but you don't get any more than that. So you put in the first draw, you draw your buck tag, yay, right? Well, you can't put in then, I think, and Eric, correct me, I don't even think you can put in for the second draw. I think you have to wait till the third, but I don't remember. Mm-hmm. So they have different draws, and then you can get those doe tags.
So Boom says, my dear unit, it's 8+ years for a muley tag. Question for you, Boom. What unit, and do you think there's too many deer tags doled out in that unit? Yeah. At least buck tags. I'm assuming you're applying for a buck if it takes you 8 years. Because Clay and I are definitely on the belief that there's too many tags getting doled out in North Dakota. So what do you think about that? What in your unit there? Is there too many buck tags getting doled out?
You look at 3F2. I mean, 1,300 and some extra tags is what they let this year. That's
my buddy John went down with his buddy Healy the Hammer, went down with his son, just looking for a doe, Clay, during the regular. He said it was like a freaking desolate wasteland. He said it looked like the roadway. There was not a live animal to be seen anywhere. And they were down there the whole day for like 3 days driving around looking, They walked a bunch of stuff, nothing.
Yeah. Eric said you have to wait to the fourth draw if you get drawn in the first. So there you go. It isn't like you can get in on the second and third. You got to wait till the fourth draw. And you know what? If there's leftover tags by the fourth draw, by all means, apply and get them, right? I have no issue.
So it looks like Boom's on board with what we're thinking. Clay says, yes, there's too many tags, and 4C's where he at. He said they can't grow up there, right?
And I imagine 4C's got to be a lot of that Badlands area, I imagine. And I can tell you right now, and I've got a few, you've been here, Jamie. I've got a few allotments that go with this place. You don't see much on them, do you?
No, I didn't.
There's stuff on my land, which all over. But if you notice, there isn't much on the public access land. Mm-hmm. And there's a reason for that. Any deer season, even antelope, you can get up on a hill, which I do quite often, and I watch the first guys get in there at daybreak. Sometimes one's on the north side, sometimes they come in from the south side, and then see each other in the middle, which is hilarious. And then as soon as they start walking, because you can only really access it from that road to the east, they start walking in there, and they're pushing stuff either north, south, depending on what side they came in, and then to the west. And what's on the west? That's all my land. And where's everything run? To mine.
Right. Yeah.
And if they are on that public land, they don't last long because it's just, I mean, you literally can watch pickups surround the two sides that are that are accessible. Oh, it's just, and I've even put out there too. I've talked to the Forest Service. I'd even talked to the state, to the North Dakota Game Fish. I said, you guys, I said, I'd even probably be willing to help make it happen if we can't put it on your land. I want a parking area because I'm sick and tired of these guys stopping in the middle of a freaking road. They're going to get killed. We got a lot of truck traffic.
Yep.
And they don't care where they stop. And there's really no ditches to get. You've been here. There's no ditches to really park in. Very few.
Right.
I think if they're going to have public access lands, I think they should be providing a parking area for them land.
Agreed.
And I think
as much money as they spend on shit, it shouldn't be a problem to bring in a dozer and a
I think
scraper
it's a
and whatever. And
great
get them
use
good
of Pittman Robinson money. That would be a good use of Pittman Robinson money. It truly
perfect.
Then we don't have to have the problems we see. And it's to the benefit of landowners and it's the benefit of the hunters. It's going to make better hunter-landowner relationships. I can tell you that. Have a place for these people to park, for Christ's sakes.
Yeah. Stopping in the middle of the road and there's nobody around here anyways. Well, then a guy comes over the hill chasing around. He's going to get to the other side of the section and he's going 70. And there you are. And he locks it up. And you're going to get rear-ended and somebody's going to get hurt or killed.
In November around here, even in October, especially the antelope season, there's a lot of hay being hauled. It's just, that's the reality of where we live out here.
Yeah, you're in a semi-trailer with hay on it. You're not going to make it.
And we got some curves out here, which you know which ones I'm talking about because we climbed. And I saw this happen this year. Guy parked right in the middle, and I stopped, and he got mad because I asked him to move his vehicle. I said, I'm doing this for your own good. I said, you're going to get hit by a truck, and then you're going to die. I said, would you rather that happen, or would you just want to roll up there where you and I parked? We got up there by that approach into that Indian land. We parked there. That's where you should go.
Right.
Stop in the middle of the road, you dumbass.
Yep. I mean, it's hard to, and it happens every year. I mean, you'd think people would have enough common sense and they're walking around with guns.
So Boom Country says, yes, it is. And I'm fortunate to have several areas of private, but still tough to see anything. There you go. And I imagine if you've got all that public land and it takes more than just a few parcels of private land. You got to have a full area for these deer to grow up. And if they run across a piece of public access land and get shot at, I mean, yeah.
Yeah, it don't take a deer long to run across a quarter of land or 2 quarters.
Eric, I take more pride in getting a decent buck on public land over a big buck on private land. I know you do, Eric. I disagree with that. I take a lot of pride in getting them on my own place because I've been trying to develop this place for that. And there's nothing wrong with private land. But Eric is a very good hunter. And I'll tell you this thing right now, guys. Eric, he works for it. That's what he does. And he's adamant about it. And I tip my hat to him because Eric's a hell of a hunter. And he earns them bucks he gets. Trust me.
I'll be happy if I get a big buck on his private or public. I'm not going to.
Yeah, I don't care where it comes. I will admit, the mule deer I got, I didn't earn that one. But hey, I guess that's the advantage of having.
I got a couple nice big muleys, and I mean, one that's not that big was probably my best hunt, and I'd probably the happiest to getting him than I was over the bigger ones, because I did have to work for it.
Oh yeah, Josh, is your boy? I can't remember. It seemed like you guys are still able to do the youth season, but and I know I've told you this before, but you definitely can come down here. Especially if you got doe tag, because I can put you on does. I mean, we help Jamie out with that, but that youth season, I love to help people out. Again, can't let everybody on, but the people that we know, like Josh and the people that have been supporting us, definitely, give me a call. I'm sure Jamie might even be able to help you out too. But we're down here in 3F2, but I think that youth tag's good statewide, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
So come on down.
You can't shoot a muley in my unit. That's Just they changed that years ago, and I did actually talk to Jeb about that, and Jeb told me, "Oh, that's got to get changed," and I was like, "You know what? Screw it."
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you what, I do have a happy ending story if we want to do that.
Yeah, let's hit it, man. Let's do it.
Before we do that, let's do one more. Let's thank some sponsors. We're going long tonight, but that's okay. I've been off for 2 weeks, so I'm good for going long. We're going to thank our main sponsor. We'll come back and we'll do a happy ending of the night. Oh, how come it didn't work?
Uh-oh.
LAUER Auto Repair, located at 309 South Washington Street in Bismarck, North Dakota.
Give them a call at 701-258-6308.
The team of mechanics at LAUER Auto can take care of any problem your vehicle is having. And when you do business with LAUER, you can be assured you're doing business with a pro Second Amendment America First repair shop. There are plenty of other auto repair shops in the Bismarck-Mandan area. But why take a chance at patronizing a shop that might not have your beliefs at heart? Make no mistake.
Make no mistake.
LAUER Auto is your pro Second Amendment repair shop. When you talk to the guys at LAUER Auto, don't forget to tell them that you heard they are a sponsor of Guns and the 701 and that you appreciate their support of our pro Second Amendment, pro North Dakota live stream and podcast. That's LAUER Auto Repair, 701-258-6308.
701-258-6308.
Located 309 South Washington Street in Bismarck, North Dakota.
Experience the exhilaration of power in your hands at Bloodline Kinetics. Why Cerakote? Simply, it aids in firearm preservation while also giving your piece a unique look. Barrel threading, NFA laser engraving, bolt handle threading, mount, level, and bore, sight scope chamber rebarreling, and much more. Bloodline Kinetics is meant to reflect a long American lineage in gun ownership, who stand for the Second Amendment rights, Bloodline, and the science behind gun accuracy. Kinetics. To some, it's just a constitutional right that can go away. To us, it's in our American bloodline, and we believe it should stay that way. Here at Bloodline Kinetics, we understand that hunters, sportsmen, women, and gun owners should have a quality firearm. Stop and see us at 2008 Morrison Avenue 2 in Bismarck, North Dakota, 58504, Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Call 701-390-7997. Visit our website, bloodlinekinetics.com.
Danville Brand LLC, raising and training tomorrow's barrel horses right out of Bismarck, North Dakota. Tracy and her family are great American patriots who not only support the Second Amendment, but they also promoted what you're looking for, top quality barrel horses. Go ahead and give Tracy a call at 701-471-6629 and tell them Guns and 701.com sent you. That's Anvil Brand LLC out of Bismarck, North Dakota.
Mismatched Converse, t-shirts tucked in, know my worth, can't tell me nothing. White Nikes, albino, pink.
All right, we are back. We got to do a happy ending before we sign
100%.
off. I did put out there.
Are...
If anybody's looking to do any coyote hunting, get in touch with me. You can email me at guns@gunsandthe701.com. I do call myself, and I get out there occasionally, not as much as I should and used to. But the thing is, I can probably, other than the 3,200 acres I got, I know I can get you on my neighbor's land, and I bet you money we could get you on close to 7,000-8,000 acres of access for coyote hunting. Everybody loves to eliminate them coyotes, so come on down. It's a big country, isn't it?
Yeah. You showed me some nice shit down there. Not just for deer, but for all wild game there. That'd be something. And hey, you guys watch. You just seen the ads there. Deke put together. Go ahead and you go and support our sponsors. Make sure you tell them you heard it on Guns in the 701 or 701 Nation, and you appreciate them sponsoring a show like this.
Absolutely, we can't do without our sponsors. So, with that said, I have to have
it suck and it wouldn't last long.
That's right. Yeah. Here, I brought this one up for the one I'm going to tell you about. The guy didn't die in it, but it's still a happy ending. But it shows something else, and you're going to understand this. I know Jamie will, because he knows what I carry a lot of times for. So this happened in Mountain Home, Arkansas, by the way. It was a home invasion. It took place in the Mountain Home, Arkansas area. The homeowner successfully defended his property using not even a pistol. It was a 22 caliber rifle. So it can be done.
Nice.
The 20-year-old suspect was shot in the shoulder during a break-in attempt. The altercation began when the suspect reportedly, who was highly intoxicated, probably not a good idea to get drunk and start knocking on people's doors. He attempted to gain access to the residence by knocking on the front door. He was denied, was told to leave. But he decided, you know what? He must not have meant it. He went ahead and broke the glass on the back sliding door to try and gain access. It prompted an immediate response from the homeowners. Imagine that.
Wow, shocker, right?
Both homeowners suffered injuries from the broken glass. But the important note is that the homeowner, he grabbed his 22 rifle and he shot at the guy. Now, I don't know if he was just trying to stop the threat. So if you've ever taken self-defense classes, I don't know if Dan's still tuning in here tonight, but really they do teach you to stop the threat. Now, that might mean fatally. You might need to use lethal force. You might not. I don't know if it's anybody's intent to kill anybody. Let's face it. If you have to do it, you're going to live with that the rest of your life, right? I can't stress this enough. As much as I carry and I have drawn my self-defense firearm, I don't want to kill anybody, but I will defend myself and my family and my property. It's just going to happen.
Right.
Anyway.
I don't want to, but if I have to, it's not, you know.
That's right. That's right. Anyway, and they mentioned this, that they don't know if the primary objective was to stop the threat or just wound him, but he goes, basically, he hit him in the shoulder either way. Now, I don't know if someone's coming in and it's usually that's a close encounter. I don't think you're going to have time unless it's an open site. You might be able to, but there's a good chance you're just going to react and shoot. And that's probably why the guy got hit in the shoulder. I don't know, but
I mean, that's going to hurt.
The 22, it was enough. It halted the intruder. He didn't keep coming at him. He doesn't know if it was a strategic decision, but the suspect then was taken to the hospital, of course. He claimed to have little recollection of the event. Can you imagine that? Wake up and go, oh, damn, my shoulder is shot. What did I do?
What happened? My shoulder hurts.
Yeah, I don't know what the hell I did. He faces charges including third-degree burglary, first-degree criminal mischief, second-degree assault, and third-degree burglary. So third-degree battery and third-degree burglary. His bond was set at $50,000. And the reason I bring this up, and the author of this, his name is Sean Holt. He's a writer for these guys and does a good job. And he basically brought up the fact that a 22 either rifle or pistol is a good defense, firearm.
Rifle's way better. Doug and I tested them in jail. I mean, your rifle's going to definitely.
You got that extra, you're sending that bullet.
Got that extra velocity, that bullet, and they do make self-defense rounds that'll expand great in a rifle.
Now, I myself carry all the time my North American Arms 22 mag revolver. It's a 5-shot revolver.
Chin gun,
and it's loaded all the time with VMAXs, which I don't know. I've seen what they do to prairie dogs.
Yeah,
want to be hit with one.
Well, you bought one for a fellow in Mercer County, and he's extremely pleased with it.
I heard something about that he was really happy with that.
Yeah.
Hey Clay, look what I got in my hand. I can feel.
You didn't know I had that in there, did you?
I did. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. Everybody know that's my dad. Clay bought him the revolver there for.
We had a discussion about tangible assets and and investments, and I got to have something in my hands. So I said, "Here, give this to him." I said, "Now you got something in your hand." So thanks to Dean and you guys. That was a great time, and I look forward to coming up again. We had a good time.
So Zach's 5.56 frangible works good too. Yeah, I agree, especially for indoors. Like a lot of people bitch about you don't want a VMAX or something. And we've shot them into gel, and I'm like, I tell you what, if you don't want penetration and want something to go in about 5 inches and blow up, there's nothing better than
something that comes apart. It's going to be a good stopper.
So I think the VMAX out of the 223 went 5 or 6 inches, and the Nosler went about 8, which is my preferred ballistic tip is the Nosler.
Maybe we need to do one with my North American Arms on
100%
a body,
we do.
A gel body at close range, like under the chin, where you would be in some kind of situation.
Well, Axe has like a half of one. We can pour it in there and then just go at a little bit of an angle, and
I think that'd be.
We'll put an orange on the top, and if that sucker comes through and hits
There.
that
I might have to try that. Yeah. I'm just telling you, I do think it's a self-defense firearm. I carry it quite often. It's pretty concealable. Nobody even knows I have it most of the time because it's in a Gerber pouch. And
so,
yeah.
I don't know if I told you that, Clay. My dad actually shot it over my chrono.
Yeah.
And the 22 rounds, which normally I think he had some CCIs that, they're normally like 1200 to 1260 out of a 18 to 20. It was, I want to say like 880, I think he averaged on 3 shots. So yeah, that was a 22. That wasn't the 22 mags. That was just a 22.
That's moving pretty good.
And they do make 22, like you said, you got the VMAX. They do actually make 22 mag self-defense rounds, which I don't have any or testing. I'd like to get some and try them out. I think it would be great to try that in one of those little handguns like that.
We're gonna try that. We've never done that. So yeah, Zach says I use VMAX in my home defense in my rifle and XTP in my pistol. Absolutely.
Perfect.
You know what? Is the intent to kill? No. Will I do it if I have to? Yes. Depends on what firearm I have and the situation I'm in. It's just that simple.
Thing about an AR is if they do come in, you just got a VMAX. If they don't stop, I guarantee you just keep squeezing that trigger. They're going to stop. Yeah. You might be a tough bastard. You might be able to take a couple, but if the third one comes in, you're going to drop and start.
I wouldn't want to be hit anywhere with anything, honestly.
No, me either. Throwing knife or throwing star or whatever. But
so with that, I think we should try to get done here. We've been on 2 hours and 20 minutes.
Yeah, setting records.
And we've been holding our audience. So thanks, guys. I
appreciate everybody tuning in, especially X and Rumble. You guys are kicking ass. X really kicking ass tonight. Thank you guys. We appreciate you.
Is. The guy over there, Extended Orange. I think that's what it's supposed to be. I know these usernames. I'm sorry if I got your name wrong there. It says 3C is impossible to get one too. Talking about deer and dumpsters in the parking areas would be smart. No excuses for people to be slobs in. Absolutely. For yourselves, no matter what. That's just a good thing to do.
I ain't from here. Screw these guys. Just throw your shit down.
And I see it down here after deer season. Beer cans. I mean, really. You're in the middle of nowhere, but people live out here. They truly do. And,
I will give the guys a 3B2 credit. I haven't seen garbage around there too much, so it's.
Hey, Boom Country. Good night. Thanks for listening in. And he said he sent an email with his info. Great.
Awesome. Thank you.
But
yep, and we follow you. Like I said, we follow you on YouTube.
On YouTube, yeah. So
not sure if you're on Facebook. I haven't looked it up yet, but hey, Facebook's going. They're gonna be just like X, man.
So. That's what they claim. We'll see.
I hope so.
Well, coming up on Friday, I'll be on with Todd again. Mitchell in the morning. I don't know. There's a possibility I might come in studio. I don't know for sure on that yet, Jamie. I might have made a purchase up in that area of a boomstick or something like that. Anyway, I might be coming up that way. We'll see if that all pans out. I'm probably going to be in studio. Either way, I will be on the air at 7:15 Mountain, 8:15 Central. And Mitchell in the morning. I think we're gonna have a pretty good show. I'm not gonna some of the stuff we didn't go over tonight. I think I'll try and do on Friday because I don't have to do all the extra work.
Yeah. We got off track, but yeah, I think you're gonna have. And actually, 2 weeks from this Friday, Clay's gonna be ice fishing up in the Black Hills. I'm gonna be in studio with Todd in 2 weeks. So
absolutely, me and Eric are heading out with our 2 boys. He's taking Gunner, and I'm taking Landon. We're heading down there, meeting up with his brother Eric, who I graduated with, and another guy I graduated with.
Bicep's gonna be out.
He don't fish, little turd.
Man, I'm beginning to like this kid more and more. I like to eat fish, but going fishing anymore.
Landon loves to fish, and Leighton doesn't. But Leighton loves to hunt and shoot more than Landon, although Landon's a good shot too. So that's okay. To each his own, and Landon loves it. So it's something I can do with both the boys, which I love. I can do either one.
Anytime you get your kids out doing something with you is awesome, man.
So we're taking them down there. Going to spend a few days. We've rented a cabin down there, not too far from Pactola. Going to give Pactola a try. You got Sheridan. Like, there's a ton of little lakes down there to go try out.
It's nice you got a cabin too. You ain't got to rough it too crappy.
I don't think Eric said we'll just stay in the fish house. I'm like, nah.
I'm taking your side on this one, Clayton.
I don't want to spend all night out there.
So I'm not doing a show tomorrow, and Thursday after Clay. I do kind of got my agenda set for next Thursday there, the 16th. how long do barrels last, right? Everybody's got that question. How long does that barrel last? How long does that barrel last? I actually listened to a podcast that had some freaking awesome information about, and we're going to be talking 223, 6.5 Creed, 7 MPRC, and how long it, these guys shot thousands of rounds through them and how they lasted, and when the throats burned out and when it was time to clean them, which maybe I'm cleaning mine a little too past what these guys say. And after that, I'm going to hit, we never did get to it, but I'm going to hit on countries with the greatest number of civilian firearms. We're going to do that one. And here's another one, Clay. I know everybody talks about this. I've talked about this a number.
Great.
Axe
I can't do that one on Friday then.
Yeah.
I won't do it on Friday. That's fine.
Axe actually sent me this one too. How air temperature changes bullet trajectory, like your impact. Because I've talked about this a number of times with people, and Axe had a great article he sent me on, and I'm going to hit on that one. And of course, I'll, like usual, you and I both have happy ending of the week, baby. It's always a happy ending. Whether it's 22 Magnum going in 4 inches and dropping the son of a bitch, or God's cartridge going through and doing God's work and finishing them off and sending them to the place they go and they rob somebody.
Nope, perfect. I can tell you this with the Swift. If you load them over 4,000 feet per second, like they did for years when that round came out, you're going to burn that throat out. If you keep it civilized, I'm still on the same barrel, and it shoots good, don't it?
And I can tell you, Clay, that was one of the things they said. He specifically mentioned the 220 Swift. He said, yeah, it is a throat burner, but there is a way you can, and Boom says he's got a 6.5 Creed, 5,000 rounds and still half a minute. Right. And he did say you get special barrels. I just going off of what I remember, 6.5 Creed, this guy was saying like 2,500 to 3,000 rounds in his barrel changing time, unless you get a special barrel or you didn't beat the shit out of it. And my old favorite, the 308, I will tell you, that one's going to be, that sumbitch is a shining star. So, and everybody's like, why would a 308 be? Other than it's a freaking badass cartridge. I will explain further next Thursday why the 308 doesn't burn out faster.
Bottom line is you want to tune in next Thursday.
Yeah, for sure you do. Yeah.
And then, of course, like I said, I think it's February. I got to look. February 3rd, right? That's our,
Yeah, that's the first 3rd, Monday in February.
Dakota Mornings with Michael Bell, and we are going to do 2 hours, which I think that's about
Michael,
an hour.
You're an awesome man.
I think that's about an hour and a half with maybe less.
It isn't even an hour and a half really with commercials. Yeah, Daryl said it is. Daryl, Daryl, it's not an hour and a half. It's like an hour and 10 minutes, really.
That's we're looking forward to it, and I encourage everybody, call in. If you don't know the number, it's I believe 800-258-550, right?
They don't even give out the 800. It's just
701-258-550. I know that. So call in.
I want somebody to call in, Clay, that thinks we're freaking insane right-wing knuckle dragging gun nuts and disagree with us. I think that'd be fun. Yeah. maybe Tracy Potter can call in, because I know he got an F or a D- in the NRA, and he likes to think he's right about everything. So bring it.
Bring it on, because I'll educate you. You might think you're a good debater. You might be good at master something, but
I was just gonna say master. You're
not.
Boom says he's tuning in for sure. I appreciate that, buddy. Thank you.
Yeah, I've been asked before, you guys should host a debate. I said, it's crossed my mind, but you and I have to talk about that, because I'm not gonna have. It's gonna be a real debate. And if someone gets to yelling, I'm going to freaking put the screws to them.
In case anybody missed it, probably about a year and a half ago, I did actually go on Ladies of Another View and debated a massive anti-gunner. And I'm not saying I kicked ass 100%, but definitely in the mid 90 percentile, I dominated.
You did a good job, and I think your knowledge is way more than it was then. Because she was hitting on a lot of stuff I know you weren't following, but I probably would have had the answer.
That was one of them deals in a commercial break where I was like, man, I wish we were alive now. This is good stuff. But I'd love it.
I'm not afraid of it. I've done it before. I've had fun. I've taken blind calls on gun shows across both states when I was a rep, and I didn't pull no punches. I'm not nice. I'm going to tell you, if you're lying and you're a dumbass and it's rhetoric, I'm going to tell it. And you can sit and yell and scream all you want at me. It doesn't make it any truer.
Yeah.
I use real stuff. I mean, I don't make this crap up.
Right. You look at Corey says Mobridge ice fishing tournament this weekend.
So
yeah.
what's the ice like, Corey? I haven't been over there for a while, so I mean it finally got
Sponsor
cold
the show, but he definitely listens to the podcast. My buddy Josh Loeb's Lake Oahe guide services down there. Josh is he's got some big fish on there. Check him out on Facebook. He's
there, Jamie. You know what we could do? I know you don't ice fish, but we should go to the Lake of the Woods or somewhere and get Ballard's Resort and go out there. And,
we don't even have to do that. My uncle lives on the lake, and they pull him out of there like
better yet.
We can stay in a big ass, beautiful cabin.
Game. And Minnesota's got good fishing. They suck at everything else, but they got good fish. They got good fish.
Well, where he's at, Shirt Lake, it's definitely you might as well call it right
Shirt
wing
Lake. Oh, okay, I know exactly where that's at.
Yeah, you might as well call it Right Wing Lake.
There you go.
Hey, now we can drive by what's his name, steel business there in Brainerd and pick up whatever he wants to laser out for us.
Yeah. Like I said, I got to get a hold of him. I'll try to call him tomorrow. I got a doctor's appointment in the morning, and then I think I'm going to be on the road for a little bit. I'm going to get my Scout 2 back and get it back up here. So yeah.
I said, what's his real name? I feel bad. I can't remember his name right off.
Chris Brownell.
Chris Brownell. I can't remember. Chris, if you hear, I'm sorry, I don't remember the name of your steel company. Send it to me. I told my aunt and uncle. Anybody who's looking for steel gongs around Brainerd, go ahead and get. I did send it. Yeah, right there.
Right there.
Hey, OD Green
American
on it.
Steel Supply.
There we go. Him and his wife run it right there.
And he does a fantastic job. And this guy's a patriot. He's a patriot to the core. And he'll be down there when we do the 2A day down at Wayland's. He was there last year. And
awesome.
We have all the fun toys out. So, all right. Well, I think we're going to call that a wrap for tonight. Sir. Jamie, thanks for coming on. Mike?
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Thanks. I knew his wife was on him earlier here, so he had some things to go tend to, and that's okay. That's the way that goes. So
he's tending.
Keeping his powder dry. All right,
everybody. That fuse, Deacons.
Thanks for tuning in. It was a great episode. Episode 124. Can you believe that? Wow. We've been at this over 2 years now. So
awesome, man.
Thanks for tuning in. Thanks to our sponsors. And hey, like what Scott says, eat some beef, drink some milk, wear some fur, support those people in those industries, because I'm telling you what, there's plenty of people who don't. There's plenty of people that don't. So thanks again, everybody. We will see everybody here actually Friday, but next week for sure with another great episode. And you're doing one next week too, right?
Yep. Thursday the 16th. Yep. 701 Nation episode 31.
Take it easy, everybody. Keep the powder dry.